What day is it?
Tuesday?
Tuesday night! His ghost returns to wreak his horrible vengeance.
Oh, but tonight's Tuesday night!
Then he'll be coming.
Did you know about the parentage? Like, tell me about that journey of when you found out.
No. JJ pitched me the film and was like, oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy. And I was like, awesome. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, oh, we're not sure. So it kept changing.
This happened last time as well. We do, you see something, you think, oh, you know what? That could be a little clearer. That could be a little bit better.
No.
This is the way.
Don't be mommy.
Hold it right there! Pronoun trouble.
The goal is not really to promote Star Trek and to use our platform.
No, stop getting Bond wrong!
Wake up!
This isn't even the biggest one.
Oh my god.
No.
Say, kids, what time is it?
Tonight's Tuesday night!
Let that be a lesson so you don't drive into telephone poles.
That would be hilarious.
That's the best, isn't it? Thank you, Memology.
That is just
Memology 101. He comes up with the best stuff all the time. Hello, everyone. It is now Tuesday night, and we're back. Let's go around the horn.
Hello.
To my immediate, I'm bad at this. There, I got it right. I have to point the other way.
Okay.
Our stalwart weekly voice of reason, Mr. Peter Bradley, folks.
Hello.
Pose. Underneath him would be Judah Buddha returning from a 2-week hiatus.
I know. Hello.
Were you out hunting Yeti or something? Good for you.
Here and there. Doing cool
I hear
stuff.
Yeti make good sandwiches.
What? Yeti?
I hear that Yeti make good sandwiches. Nice
do.
slab of Yeti. A little bit of hot mustard on that on a nice pumpernickel.
Little Chez.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about. Yeti?
And
Yeti sandwiches.
returning for a second week in a row, we didn't scare her off. Lady Geek Time herself, Stacy Wilbur.
Hello, friends.
How are you, Stace?
I'm awesome.
How was your week?
Great.
Good.
Got a whole bunch
Did you
of
have fun
fun
last week? You clearly must have.
I did have fun last week. That's why I'm back.
I watched the replay, and I got to say, you were outstanding.
I was afraid to watch it.
You were outstanding, and let's see if we can get you to top the act this week.
I don't know. Pressure.
How was your week, Pete?
My week was pretty good. Did a lot of animating. Then heard from clients who decided last minute, I want to change something.
Well, they always
That's
do
okay.
that.
It only took a day and a half to render. That's fine by me.
10-second fix, 2-day render. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But we need it tomorrow morning. Nope. You ain't gonna get it by tomorrow morning.
What about you, Jude? What happened in your world this week?
Oh, well, I adopt. Well, I didn't really adopt. An animal found me this past week.
Where is our?
He's in the cage here.
Cage. It's Mojo. Where's
It's
Mojo?
actually a Bengal tiger, but
don't put your head in its mouth. We know how that's.
He's awake.
Or any other orify.
Come on.
Is he coming out?
Yep. We have a mascot. We have a GeekTime Network
I love him.
mascot. Mojo the ferret.
Cute.
That's awesome. Here, wait. Let's
Is that him making that sound?
No, that's me.
I'll give you a full screen for Mojo. Hey, Mojo, look at him.
Oh, hello, Mojo.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mojo the ferret.
Hello, Mojo.
Most excellent.
Yeah, I found him in the woods playing disc golf. He ran up to my friend and I and tried to
He
climb
was
my
playing
friend's
disc
leg.
golf?
He was playing disc golf. He actually plays better than I do. I found him at Mohegan Park in Norwich, Connecticut, and somebody must have dumped him. And what's really funny is that when I went on their Facebook page, the park Facebook page, and posted that I found a ferret there, somebody posted they found a ferret too. So either his brother and sister was out there lost too. So
Now, hold on a second. You were out in Stacy's neck of the woods. Stacey,
Yeah.
you didn't have a couple ferrets, did you?
No, oh, dang. Sorry. No, I
So-
would never do that.
maybe at some point we can get him a GeekTime Network shirt or maybe
That'd be
a little hat.
A beanie.
And we could stage him in all kinds of like superhero poses. You know, Whoa! Maybe a lightsaber or something.
No, that's a
Poor-
photo op.
Poor thing.
I'm into it.
I know it's okay. Anyway, I don't have kids, so as you could tell,
There you go.
I become a dad.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Way to go, Jude.
Looks
Should
just
be a
like
top
you.
paper.
Looks like a lot of my girlfriends, actually. Oh, maybe that's why I'm so in love with them.
Oh,
He's got your eyes.
yeah, right. Well,
Short and
I'm
hairy?
here. I'm here because I'm not supposed to be.
Mhm.
Things didn't go so well for me, and I'm not going to get into it. But I'm here with you guys, and
I'm glad you're here.
that's a win.
Yeah.
So much like J.J. Abrams, we're going to keep changing things as we go today.
I might have to wash my hands. They get a little.
Don't touch your eye. Look at. I don't know if you can see my eye. Do you see this?
You got stank eye?
Yeah.
I think I was at my friend's house watching football Sunday, and I think his cats. I rubbed my eye, and I got like an infection. It's horrible. It's driving me nuts. Lucky I have this steroid cream that I put on it from the last time this happened to me.
Huh. Bummer, man.
Don't get old, man.
Sucks.
It does. See, wow. Jude doesn't. He should. Okay.
Close his screen there. Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, the ferret got him. Oh, there he is.
The ferret got him.
All right. Sorry.
Well, I don't know where to start. I think we should start with something happy.
Yes. Happy's good.
We did start with something happy.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
we
we
did.
can jump right to the depressing
No,
shit
but-
now.
But definitely start with something in the news
yes.
that's happy.
Oh, I love this. Yes.
And I fully agree.
I
Fully
100%
agree to this.
agree. I
Absolutely.
love this idea.
Yes, I do too.
There's been some good people pitched to take over. I don't know who they're going to end up ultimately going with. Of course, I guess what it is like 36 more episodes with Alex Trebek.
Till
I
Christmas.
think
they
it's
run
through-
out of
Till December.
Yeah.
the end of the year, right? So, yeah, I mean, LeVar Burton would be great.
Yeah, but aren't they trying to? Everybody's trying to pick this other guy.
I've heard Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick did the sports Jeopardy, and he was very
Okay.
good.
Is that who it is?
I've heard Dan Patrick. There's a lot. I've heard 3 or 4 different names.
Like I've actually seen people on Facebook. I mean, I know Facebook's toxic, but people fighting over saying no, that's terrible. They're actually arguing about it, which is
Really?
ridiculous. Yeah.
Well,
So-
you know,
LeVar
I
Burton's the
think
best one I
cool
think
that-
I've heard. I think he'd be amazing.
I think it's Star Trek fans and Reading Rainbow fans. I know there's a huge contingent of Reading Rainbow fans out there.
No, that's a
Yeah.
fantastic choice.
No,
No, there is. People like it's like nostalgic for that.
no, it is. It is.
You know?
So,
So today is actually doing a poll.
Who
Today.com. I guess.
oh, okay.
The show.
And they're LeVar Burton, Laura Cotes, I don't even know who she is. Anderson Cooper, Alex Faust, Ken
yeah,
Jennings, or Betty White.
No, Betty White. No. Betty White's great, but they'll have the same problem in 6 months.
Yeah, they'd be like, yeah, that's not a good idea.
Not to be rude and slam on Betty.
I don't even know who Ken Jennings is.
Oh, he's the guy that won like the most money.
Oh,
Or the most
Little
episodes
short guy.
ever.
Yeah.
He's super annoying. I don't know like how he would. He's no charisma. I don't think you have to be smart and have charisma.
No, in fact, this is his personality.
Yes.
Perfect.
I mean, he's brilliant. I mean, he's a very smart person, but it takes more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think LeVar Burton has the same kind of disposition as Trump. He's kind of gentle. He's intellectual. I think he'd be good. He's not the kind of game show host like, let's say, a Steve Harvey, where when they say something stupid, he takes the opportunity to get a few laughs out of the audience. That's not going to happen. You got to get someone who's going to stay dignified despite a stupid answer. And you don't get too many stupid answers on Jeopardy, but
no, but Alex Trebek was very good at not going over the top with being in a comedy show. You know what I mean? It's not like Family Feud.
Yeah.
Right.
He kept it respectable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a game show for intellectuals, so.
And a lot of people watch it. I mean, I don't have cable. I haven't had cable since 2012, but I know people who I'm friends with, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to watch Jeopardy." I'm like, "Okay." Like, all right. So there's still a Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. You gotta
go to East Side Pizza on a weeknight when Angelo is working, when Jeopardy's on, and watch Angelo rattle off probably 20 to 30% of those answers daily. And I keep accusing, I'm like, you've seen these before. It's really something. He's good. Angelo's very good at it for a lay person like we are.
Oh, so Tom Bergen.
I'm averaging my Luke Cage glass today.
Nice.
Yes.
So Tom Bergeron is the guy from the America's Funniest Home Videos, right?
Tom Bergeron.
I think he was Dancing with the Stars too.
Yes.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Yeah.
My nephew, when he was small, had talked. He had one of those kid affects where he would like say R's weird or something. Of course they all grow out of it, but he'd go Tom Bergeron. It's just the way he would say Tom Bergeron.
Get to the chopper.
Like an accent.
Get to the chopper. Yeah, it sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
That's awesome.
Tom Bergeron, get to the chopper.
4-year-old Arnold. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I think Burton would be cool, man.
So the next one was Alex Faust, who did play-by-play for Los Angeles Kings during NFL games.
I saw that as a possibility.
Yeah.
Pete, Keith, you probably know more about him than I would. Is he good, or did he do good play-by-play?
I would go to Kings games, but I don't really watch them on TV when I'm out there. He's probably fine. Maybe. I guess. Sure.
So we're all rooting for.
I think LeVar's a nice idea. It's different. It came out of left field because you don't think of him as like a game show host or like an MC at all.
So did you go to?
If he does do the show, he's got to wear the Geordie LaForge banana clip the whole time.
And the engineering outfit, the mustard.
Star Trek.
Oh my!
Yes, and the whoever loses has to put on a red shirt. Whoever comes.
So I sent you the link for his petition.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I don't know if it.
Now let me copy and put it in the main chat here.
Sign the petition. How many people signed up for this?
I don't know. Oops, wait.
Probably enough to make the internet.
Wow, it's actually climbing as we speak. I just clicked the link. Here.
Oh, I see it now.
Oh shit! That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. If you click that, it actually shows you live how many people are actually signing this thing.
Where?
Click the Twitter
Oh, I see the change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm new.
What? That's not it. No, you got to click the picture.
Thank you.
Oh, you have to click his picture. Yeah, here we go.
Now watch that thing jump. There's like people signing up as we speak.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow,
That's
look at
cool.
that.
Nice.
We'll see.
That's awesome.
At least bring him in for an interview, if nothing else.
I mean, what else has he been doing since Star Trek?
I think he's written a book
Reading
recently.
Yeah,
right?
he's reading Rainbow's still going on, I think.
Is it?
So it's online.
Oh.
I think.
I don't
Just
know.
read a book. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rambo.
I can do anything. Just read a book. It's in a book.
You know who else would be great as the host of Jeopardy would be, oh my, George Takei.
Oh my, George Takei.
He's got
Oh my.
personality,
Oh
like
my.
this. Yeah.
Oh
Who
my.
is Bill Shatner? Oh
A
my.
daily double. Oh my.
Daily double. Oh my. What
That
is
was
Star
fun.
Trek 2? Wrath of Khan?
Maybe they should try them out though, like have kind of like temporary ones, and then people could decide.
There you go.
That would-
Yes.
Oh, they could make it a competition.
yeah, like just
Everyone
give
gets a week to host, and then
Yeah.
the fans pick the best host.
I think
That's
that
a good idea.
Stacy, why are you not in charge of
I
things?
don't know. That's what I would keep saying.
Period.
Team Jordy.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So, good luck, LeVar.
Yes.
We know
Yeah,
you're
Yeah.
I'm on
watching,
board
sir.
with it.
So, I don't know where to go next. Here we go. Here's another good one. This is an amazing story to me. Like when this happened, I was like, "What the? Who would do this?"
I
saw
know.
this.
They're
I know.
being-
Um,
Guys are a scourge.
I'm glad they got the bastard.
Me too.
Oh my god.
what's amazing, they only had this crappy footage, and I can't believe that this this sergeant from NYPD Transit recognized him. But apparently, this
Awesome.
guy has already assaulted 3 other people.
Yeah, he's a
Damn.
scumbag.
He just didn't know it was
Yeah.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Well,
No, he
exactly.
wouldn't.
It says, there's no motive for Ventura's attack on Moranis. Well, I think he was just walking down the street and punching.
Well, they said like there was a woman that like he asked for money and she wouldn't give him money and he punched her in the face
Right. Yeah,
too.
right here.
Like, he's just like a
Punching a woman in the
loser.
face after asking for money on
Yeah.
number 5 train.
Yikes.
He's clearly got misdirected anger
He's
issues.
got something wrong with him
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's something missing.
But to punch a 67-year-old guy who's just walking down the sidewalk for no reason, like he could have really, if
No
Rick
kidding.
Moranis cracked his head, or he could have
Oh yeah.
have
Yeah.
suffered like permanent damage from something like this. So
Gross.
yeah.
Well, and also he's all but what 5'3".
He's a little guy.
He's
Yeah,
a little tiny guy.
5'4", exactly. He's an easy target for anyone with anger issues, clearly.
Yes. Oh.
So,
I mean, at least he wore a mask. This guy.
Over his mouth.
Well, half a mask.
Half a mask.
It just sucks. I hope the guy gets help, because I just think he's got
Something's wrong.
he's got
Yeah.
misdirected anger issues, and he has to get his act together. You can't just go around hitting people.
No.
Well, it's also New York
And I'm
City.
glad Rick
so-
Moranis is okay. I guess he said he had neck pain and a headache and in his back, and here it is.
Oh,
Suffered pain
yeah.
in his head, back, and hip.
Poor guy.
Oof.
So is this guy arrested? Is he in
Yeah.
custody right now?
But yeah, they got him. That's why I put this up when I saw it. I was like, oh, thank God.
Right,
I thought
yeah.
for sure when this happened back on October 2nd, I'm like, they're never going to catch this guy,
Right.
because this is all they have is this. And you can't even really see his face. He's wearing the mask and the whole bit. So I'm guessing it was the sergeant who recognized has had dealings with him many. So yeah, but 67-year-old Rick Moranis.
I like how they
The
show
video.
all
The video is horrific. It's just awful.
I didn't see the video. I like how all the pictures are from him in Ghostbusters. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing current. There's
No,
nothing-
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. No, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I know, right? Yeah,
He was iconic though in Ghostbusters. I mean,
Yeah,
Louis Tully. I hope he comes back in the new one.
he probably will.
Yeah.
No,
I
Ryan
think they're
Reynolds
keeping
got him to come out of.
Well, he retired to take care of his kids after his wife died.
He had just come. He was just in something little recently before this, right? Like he just.
Ryan Reynolds got him to do a commercial for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's going to do another Honey, I Shrunk movie. I know that. So.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
I like those movies. They were fun.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Here we go, Pete. While we're on happy news, there's always one tailor made for Pete every week.
Oh, I know.
Yes. No.
Is she really that bad?
No, it's not so much her. It's just her. The scripts that are given to her are just so bad. I mean, I actually stopped. I mean, I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt right now, and I've actually stopped watching. And Chris Chibnall is not. He has been making all sorts of changes to the 50+ year lore about it, and it's just.
Yeah, he's retconning.
It's just he's retconning stuff, and he's just not good. And the viewership has dropped off like a lot, and people are actually ditching their.
Disaster for BBC as 237,000 families stopped paying license fee, costing the network £40 million.
Wow.
And it's because of this. So Chris Chibnall has shown he has no respect for William Hartnell's Doctor and the other Doctors. He'd rewritten the history of Doctor Who, has tried to make the original actors who portrayed the Doctors look like the Doctor is an evil white dictator because the actors are white. Wow.
Yeah.
See, I'm a Doctor Who illiterate, so
me too.
I know what I hear and I know what I hear on other podcasts about it.
I've watched a few, and I remember when I was a kid, I watched a lot of Doctor Who, and I never understood it as a kid. I just liked all the monsters because they always looked funny. Because they were terrible. They were just guys in costumes, like, whoa!
Yeah, I tried it.
Like, oh my god, that's so great.
In like junior high, I tried it. It was so fake looking.
No,
try to find an episode called Blink. It's about these killer statues.
That's
the Doctor's
really
barely even in it. But try to find an episode called Blink.
It's a really good episode.
Blink is usually the one.
Gets people hooked.
They're these statues that are literally
almost
paralyzed. And every time you look away from them and you look back, they move closer to you.
That's creepy.
So
who was the Doctor in that?
It's like
that would be David Tennant.
It's like in Mario. Remember the ghosts in Mario? If you like turned, the ghost would chase you, but if you looked at them, they'd stop. I don't know if you guys ever played Mario.
No, which Mario was that?
That was the one for the Super Nintendo.
Oh,
they call them Boos or something. I forgot.
Oh man!
But anyway, it was like that. If you didn't look at it, right, Pete, they would move in on you. But once you turned and looked at them, they were
and even if you're looking at them, if you blink,
just
for that,
that's right.
That one moment. That's why it says don't blink.
That sounds.
Because basically, blink and you're dead.
And they were pretty scary looking. So
yes,
they kind of look like angels, but like vampire angels.
The weeping angels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But yeah, that's the episode that basically gets you hooked, and then I can recommend some good ones from there that are all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, and wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
I think the episode you said that Tenet is very similar to one of the episodes they did.
Yeah. Then there's
Tenet's very similar to there's a whole character that they wind up meeting out of order. And they have to like compare diaries to see where they are. Okay, does your diary mention Jim the Fish? Yes, I've got Jim the Fish. All right, how about Easter Island? Yes, I've got Easter Island, so they know where they are and what they can't talk about.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, a very, very, very similar thing with Tenet. The
Pete,
ending to Tenet.
What was the episode where the woman was a stretched piece of skin, and it was just like a stretched piece of skin with a face?
Oh, Cassandra. Yeah, she was the last human. And moisturize me. Yep. Yeah, she had to constantly be moisturized.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was the first season, and that was kind of rough.
That was a funny episode. She was like on a frame and stretched, and it was just a piece of skin with a face on it, and they were like spritzing her to keep her like moist. They would wheel her around.
Yeah, the first season with the 9th Doctor is kind of rough.
Oh my god.
But
Yeah, they have
the,
some
the,
good
the
stuff.
thing about the show is that every couple of years they'll change showrunners and they'll change actors. So it's the same show, but it's different every couple of years, and that's the whole thing about Chris Chibnall here, is that basically he took over from Stephen Moffat, who wrote Blink and wrote a lot of the really classic episodes, and he's just turned it into this preachy and really political. And it used to be fun, and if it was trying to teach you a lesson, it snuck it in there under the guise of entertainment, and it didn't. It goes from killer statues to Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
There's an episode where they're on the bus with Rosa Parks, and that's supposed to be the big lesson of the episode, is that racism's bad.
Yeah.
Yes,
The petition reads here: Jodie is okay as the female doctor, but she's nothing more than a political puppet to Chris Chibnall, and he even mistreated her poorly as the doctor.
Yeah.
But that was a big deal, a woman being a doctor, because I remember when the first appearance of her, I saw the reaction videos on YouTube. People were flipping out because it was like, oh my God, because they kept it a secret for a long time.
How it's been on, what, 58 years now, Pete? Something like that?
60, I want to say 63. It basically, 63. It premiered the day after Kennedy was shot.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So 57.
So is there a new doctor every season, or is there a new doctor?
No. There's every few years. It's usually like every 3. She's probably due to bow out any season now.
Yeah. So what happens is the doctor dies. He has a lifespan, but then
and he regenerates.
He regenerates as some other doctor, but it's still a doctor.
It's still the doctor, but he's only supposed to have 13 lives, which they fixed because they ran out of because they're like, oh shit, we have 13 doctors now, we better fix this. But yeah, he was supposed to have 13 lives, and he would regenerate into a different actor and different personality and different show basically. But it's the same but different.
Wow.
And still to this very day, they have the best science fiction music in any TV show. I love the intro.
Oh yeah.
They have the what's that called?
The
theremin.
They played on a theremin. Yeah.
It's fun.
But yeah, but in the UK, you have to pay for a license to watch television, and people are just ditching the license. Like, yeah, we'll cut the cord because the shows are just so terrible.
Amazon and YouTube, and they're done with the BBC.
Yeah, and it's losing out to the equivalent of Dancing with the Stars, and reruns of baking shows and stuff like that.
Star Trek Discovery is.
So do you think
their game show repeats?
So do you think they're purposely writing her out? They're just giving her shit script.
No.
Write her out?
No.
That's he's proud of what he's writing.
Oh yeah, basically, yeah. The BBC, every time there's a big brouhaha about just hey, you're ruining Doctor Who, they just double down on it.
Right.
It's
what's been happening in entertainment for 4 years now, where they like Pete said, they double down and they antagonize the fans. Instead of listening, they make it worse, and then it hits a critical mass point. And I think between the BBC losing all these subs and the fan petition, I'm hearing an echo.
I don't hear it.
Okay. I think you're going to see changes made after this season, or maybe mid-season.
Yeah, but the BBC they had so many good shows. They had Sherlock Holmes, which was I watched it on Netflix
that's another Stephen Moffat show.
Right. And then they had Downtown Abbey, right?
Downtown
Abbey.
There's no W. Well, there is, but
Downtown Debbie?
Downtown Julie Brown, right?
I'd like to see that show.
I'm Downtown Julie Brown. What's it called?
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
Okay, well,
T-O-N.
Jeez, give me a break. But yeah, so they had some pretty good shows. I mean, I know people watched a lot of the stuff.
But the BBC used to do some really good stuff. Now it's all virtue signaling.
Right. So yeah, sorry about that, BBC. But on the same token, ouch, Disney.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when you buy the world.
Yep.
And then a coof comes, and you decide to. I'm hearing an echo. I'm going to take a second.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
I don't hear it, which is strange.
There was a little bit of something, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, like it's not. It's not terrible.
There I am. I cured it. It's a pain. It just all of a sudden shows up. I don't know if it comes the stream or not, but if anybody's watching, please chat with us and tell us if it's echoing. So Disney 40. What they lose $5 billion.
I mean,
first time in 40 years.
Are there theme parks open? I mean, I don't even know what's
the
going
Florida
on.
theme park is open with limited capacities. It's been open for months. California's not, and there's no reason why. Apparently, they asked Newsom in California if he would open it because it's working in Florida. Newsom sent some kind of task force to the Florida park, so they had a free day on, riding around on the rides. They went back and reported that it is doable, and he said no anyway. And he gave no other reason than I don't have to do anything I don't want to, was basically his response. I'll take my ball and go home, Governor Newsom. And the next day they laid off 28,000 people. So they're losing money with closed parks. They're losing money. Disney Plus is not the big hit they thought it was going to be.
I knew out of the gate it wasn't going to be.
Marvel Comics is not earning them any money. So
yeah, Marvel doesn't like to make money anymore.
Right. I'm hearing echoes. I'm gonna have to duck out for a second.
Keith, maybe they're in your head.
No, I'm hearing it too.
No, I think I don't hear
it. Yeah,
it.
Disney is yeah. Plus, they went and they bought Fox. They bought all sorts of things, and basically they overpaid for Lucasfilm.
Well, the problem is when you stretch yourself that thin financially, and then something happens like a pandemic, and people aren't subscribing or going to your theme parks and spending big money. I mean, yeah, we can. Yeah, it's just gonna. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. I mean, you can't bite off more than you could chew. I mean, obviously, I think Disney wanted to become like the next Coke. They just wanted to take over the whole entertainment world, and you can't be a monopoly, man.
Yep.
Oh, I'm hearing myself now. You still there, Keith?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you sound fine.
Yeah, no, I just checked. I was listening to the stream and it's fine. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys covered.
No, we were just saying that Disney is
basically stretched themselves too thin financially.
Well, yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I think that I don't mean this in any bad way, but I think it's good in some aspects because when you're a big corporation and you're sort of trying to control everything, you let loose, and now you give people creative control to actually do better stuff. I feel like they always play it too safe because they just have corporate takeover.
Yeah.
Well, when you do things like this,
that's a perfect example.
They destroyed the comic industry in 4 years. An 80+ year industry was brought to its knees in 4 years. So, I mean, expect Marvel to get clear. They're going to get cleaned out. It's going to be over.
I just feel bad for all the people that work at that park. That's a lot.
It's going to come back, though. It's not forever. This isn't a forever thing.
They furloughed a lot of the park employees. I think they got rid of a lot of the people who did the live shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doug, for letting us know about the audio.
I mean, hey, Doug.
Doug, hop on, man.
Yeah, how come we never see your face?
Thanks, Doug.
I want to see that you make that scorpion dance on your arm.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to hold some of the comic stuff for when Edson shows up, but
yeah, I briefly read about the Jim Lee story.
We'll go to that later. We'll go to that.
Let's talk about Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Well, we know he escaped out of the Sarlacc pit.
Not Boba Fett.
No, not Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
A big booba.
First of all, I would like to preempt this segment by saying that I have fallen asleep twice watching.
Oh, come on! Really?
Season 2. It's not going anywhere.
I love it.
It's not going anywhere. These episodes.
It's only 3 episodes in, though.
They're dull.
Yeah, but
episodes 2 and 3 are dull. I'm
but
sorry.
The whole Boba Fett armor, we already know now that he actually survived the Sarlacc pit. That's exciting as hell. I want to see him.
Set that up in episode 1, and then episodes 2 and 3 are
filler.
Yeah, you can't have filler when you only have 8 episodes a season, and you're in season 2 now. Their views are way down. They're not happy because people are not watching the season 2.
Boob armor? What the fuck?
Yeah, like you said, Booba Fett.
Exactly. Hello.
Boob armor.
Watch episode 3. So, yeah, this woman. I saw this over the weekend, and I was like,
I thought it was cool. I like that episode.
Down because this woman, Anita Sarkeesian.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Notorious feminist media critic, just started bitching that they have female armor, female Mandalorian armor.
They got to be comfortable.
Exactly. That's what. And I love the response from the woman in the military.
What are you supposed to do?
Well, let's look at other, women who are armored up in movies like The Wasp. Okay.
There's so many real issues. I don't know why someone would concentrate on this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It's a non-issue, man.
This woman is someone who has to jump up and down and flap her arms for attention. And this is what Twitter is. And it's such a cesspool.
So it's one person, though, because it seems like even people that follow her and agree with her on a lot of things were saying, what are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because she's just looking for, and this is what people on Twitter do.
Yeah,
they
I guess.
spend all day behind a keyboard just looking for.
So would she be more offended if she just wore armor or armor bra and kept her belly exposed?
No, it was flat and she was squished in.
Right.
You would want.
I don't understand.
Like, here, this is a man on the far right. This guy here. She would want all 3 of them to look the same.
But they don't. They're not the same.
But it's fine.
Sorry, the female body is shaped differently than the men's body.
Right.
Right. The helmet's probably smaller.
It's nature. So complaining about it gets you.
Okay. So are you going to complain about Wonder Woman too?
Oh, there's another.
Probably has complained about
Wonder Woman. Booby armor, right? Booby armor. Oh, look at that booby armor.
Right. And she's a little bit more exposed.
Right.
Than the Mando armor.
It's
obviously
it's a non-issue.
It's a non. As from Heel versus Babyface put a video up this morning that he's leaving Twitter at the end of the year, and his video is so good because he talks about how Twitter used to be fun, and he shows like he used to interact with celebrities, and it was all about like sharing and having fun, and now it's just nothing but this toxic bullshit.
Listen,
day after day.
It's like some people need to log off the internet for a while and then come back a week later.
Log off.
Just don't
These
do it.
blue check marks. These blue check marks just love to do shit like this.
It's like this whole generation here all lived at one time without the internet. We coexisted. We went out. We did things as a society. You can log off and do something with your day. Go for a walk. Go to a park. I don't know. Learn a new hobby. Figure something out. Learn a new hobby. I don't know.
Yeah. So, way to go, Anita. Nice job, everybody. But yeah,
I like it. I actually like the last episode. I think what they're doing is even though
I'm going to rewatch episode 3 because I just might have been really tired.
Episode 3 was definitely better than 2. 2 was boring.
2 was boring. Again, Twitter went in a complete uproar over Baby Yoda eating the eggs. The frog.
I thought that was funny.
So did I. I'm like, why are people getting upset about that?
He would sneak in there and he's like, no.
But again, it's like nature. It's like his species feeds off of, you know what I mean? So it's like he's just acting.
But he's creating genocide. Isn't that what the argument was?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and that
I saw that. Ugh.
Well, Yoda lived in Dagobah. He ate lizards and.
That's my point. His species eats things like that, and he's just acting. He's doing what any creature would do.
He's already eaten a frog ate a full-grown frog
Again.
on screen.
Right. Again, social media needs to go away. It's just horrible. It's horrible.
So I think what the last episode, Keith, is I think they're setting up for those Mandalorians that take off their helmets. I don't know what they call them. I forgot what she said their group was. They're going to be
called helmets.
They already
no,
took
but they're part of a different clan than his Mando clan. I don't know.
Yeah. They already took their helmets off in episode 3.
Yeah, but he's supposed to keep his on. Remember, they're not
Correct.
supposed to take them off. But
and you can tell now, like this is 2 out of 3 episodes where another quote unquote Mandalorian takes their helmet off, and Pedro Pascal is like pissed off that he can't take his helmet off. Now you can see where the problems were coming in. Putting this together, he's like, "How come they can do it, but I can't?" Like,
but he's so pretty. He wants to show off his face.
of course he does.
and he's not a true Mando. He's actually, because he was picked up. He wasn't part of their tribe.
Well,
He was
that's
kind of adopted.
They're narcissists, these actors.
But anyway, I think they're just setting it up so that group's going to come back in a later episode. So I think you're right. I think they're doing a lot of filler now, but it's probably going to come to some conclusion.
But my point is, when you have an 8-episode run, you don't have time to have filler. You got to get moving.
Yeah.
Every
show did that.
You could have had filler last year. This year they should have been rocketing forward. This thing should be, and it's slow. It's slow.
I mean, Walking Dead. I used to watch a lot of Walking Dead. They had a lot of filler episodes, and Lost was notorious for doing.
They
filler
didn't have
episodes.
8-episode seasons. This is an 8-episode season. You don't have time. You've got to get into it. People are giving up on it already. It's boring. It's horribly boring.
Jude likes it.
I think it's.
I like it, but it's.
I've been waiting for something like this for so long because Star Wars has been so fucking terrible.
Season 1 is infinitely better already than season 2. Infinite.
I
Well,
mean,
maybe give it a chance. There's still, time.
yeah, I mean, I gave up on Star Wars. This is a big feat of just thank God they're putting something that's actually
No,
good
and I
out.
agree. And the best part is it's not all stupid woke and everything else. It's good
And
entertainment.
no fucking lightsabers.
Yeah, no space wizards.
You don't like lightsabers?
Yet. Give them time.
Oh yeah. There is one coming.
I feel like.
Oh yeah.
people-
Well,
I feel like when people see lightsabers, they actually get like those fanboys get like boing, like they. I'm sticking. When the lightsabers come out, I'm just like, oh fuck, here we go. These guys are gonna start.
lightsabers come
These
out,
guys
the
are gonna start jerking each other off now. I'm done. I'm out of here. Get me out of the theater. It's like,
yeah.
Oh.
I gotta put this
It's like
clip
Willy
in
Wonka
our
whistle.
opens with all those the Star Wars fanboys when they're like running into the Phantom Menace with their lightsabers and
and they're like doing cartwheels and shit, and you're just like, oh my god, I've seen this so many times. And Darth this and Darth that and Darth this, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Doesn't do it for you, huh, Jude?
No, I mean, I like a good story. I don't care about that like whole fan service where it's like, okay, cue the lightsaber, cue the AT-AT, cue the image where people can be like, "Ooh, the Millennium Falcon."
they gave us X-Wings in episode 2 of Mando.
Yeah, but they do it classy. I think when they inject something, they do it classy. They don't overdo it. No,
But they do need to. It's been a lot of member berries already this season too. Already, we're back to Tatooine. We got the Sand People.
True.
the
Galaxy's
Jabba.
not very big.
The galaxy's shrinking. It's they put it in,
Galaxy's like a neighborhood, and that's it.
it's like they put it on the hot water wash and threw it in the dryer.
I do like though they're bringing species back from like you're learning more about those like the species
squid
that,
people.
Yeah, they just got on the screen for like a minute in the cantina, and now they're injecting their home world, and you're like, oh, okay, they're from that home world.
I do have to say the frog people looked horrible. They looked
I
they looked like the bad rubber masks from the original Star Wars. Just
Right.
they were bad.
But it's funny to see where Admiral Akbar is from now, because that's his home planet, that water planet, fishery planet, whatever you want to call it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
I didn't see the interview, but
I watched the video, his song. I was like, oh.
Yeah, this was a great interview. What a good kid. Like what a really good kid. It's really sad. to listen to him. I mean, him and his dad were inseparable. It really was.
Well, he played with his dad for how many years with Van Halen? That's every kid's dream is play with their dad and Van Halen. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, no, but it's funny because when Eddie first passed away, Howard did a tribute and people were calling in, and the comedian Craig Gass, remember Craig Gass?
Oh yeah,
did like a Gene Simmons impersonation. Did a great Sam Kinison. He moved out to LA to live with his girlfriend at the time, and it went shit sideways. I wonder how. Geez, sounds awful familiar. And he had nowhere to live, and he was friends with the guy who was Eddie Van Halen's studio assistant. And the guy, they went bowling, and Eddie showed up at the bowling alley, and he was like, "Dude, if you need a place to live, you can live with me." Craig went and lived in Eddie Van Halen's studio for better part of a year. And he said he remembers stories like when Wolfie was like 12, and he went up to Eddie and he said, "I think I want to learn how to play guitar." And Ed said, "Oh, really? Okay. I'll start calling people and find you a good teacher." And he's like, "I want you to teach me." He was talking about how Ed was just such a regular guy that it never, like, things like that didn't dawn on him that like his son would want to learn from him. He'd go find somebody else, it was just, he said Ed would be in there noodling around all night long, and you could hear him through the wall. And he said it was great when he brought a date home. "Hey, why don't we go back to your place?" He's like, "Oh, let me call and, make sure." And he said one girl was over, and all of a sudden noise started next door. She's like, "What's going on over there?" And he's like, "I don't know how to tell you this, but that's Van Halen in there." They were rehearsing for the reunion tour, the one they did with Roth. So
I saw them 3 times that tour, and I saw them at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. So
and if you got very close to Rally Bertinelli,
right? I know it's on. I watched it on YouTube last night, or listened to it on YouTube. It was really, really, really good interview. And the song, I thought the song was.
I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, it's nice.
It's nice.
And the video is just like so like heartwarming and sweet.
I haven't watched the video that goes with it yet.
If you watch it when you're listening to it, it's like it just shows their relationship.
Yeah,
he's a baby. Sweet.
Yeah, and Robin said, "I'm all choked up just listening to the song."
Yeah.
And the song is very, very well done. It's touching. He can actually sing pretty well, Wolfie.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like I didn't know.
Well, he had to learn the harmonies because Van Halen had good harmonies, even with the other bass player, Michael Anthony, and he had to pick up on those because Michael Anthony used to do the harmonizing with Alex, him, and Eddie.
No, yeah. The thing with Wolfgang too is he said that the people on Twitter really depress him. He gets beaten up.
Trying to capitalize too.
Yeah.
Really? He gets beaten up because he said he announced he was putting his own album together 3 years ago, and he's been people are just railing him, dragging him, and the reason is, and he talked about how his dad's cancer. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor then, and then they dealt with that, and that went into remission. Then he got lung cancer. It just kept every time he felt like Ed was in remission, it would come back and be worse, and so it was 3 years of hell. So, he's like, people are just so mean that the haters online are just awful, and they just beat the shit out of him, and it gets him down. He's a kid. He's only 29.
Yeah.
So, he talked about the Van Halen, him taking over for his father. He said, "That's fucking stupid. You can't have Van Halen without Eddie Van Halen. I'm not my dad. I'm not going to replace him. I've spent my life making sure I'm not like him, and I'm my own person," he continued, explaining his father, were he alive, would instead encourage him to pursue his own ambitions. He'd be like, "What the F are you doing? Go do your own shit."
Well, he's a very empathetic kid, you could tell.
He seems like a great kid. He said he's got low self-esteem. He's kind of an introvert, shy kid.
Well, it was funny when I saw them in the first tour. They actually did a tour twice, one year and I think a couple years later. And when I saw him on the first tour, he would basically kind of hang out way far back at the stage, just kind of playing the lines or playing the riffs on the bass guitar. And then the second time, he kind of was a little bit more loosened up. and his dad kind of would run over to him and kind of give him a little kick, and then he kind of animate a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, he is kind of a introverted kind of. He's not a type of person to do a David Lee Roth cartwheel on stage.
Right.
But what I really feel bad about too is I hear people are trying to capitalize off of his death too with like, I don't know, there was a company that was selling like CBD products or something, and they were saying that
he talked about that.
Yeah, they were saying that they were trying to say Eddie was trying to promote some kind of product or something. I don't know.
Some CBD to fight the cancer and all that stuff.
But there were some company who was involved in making CBD was capitalizing off of it, saying it was our product or something. I forgot. I read it briefly, but I didn't see the interview yet.
I was really impressed. It's a great interview. It's worth an hour and 20 minutes of your time. And, right here, I don't have a dad anymore, and I'm coming to terms with that. So I think fans have to come to terms with the fact that we're not going to have Van Halen anymore. Music is going to live on forever, but you can't continue without it.
We're running into rock stars, which is even sadder.
Did you hear the second song off of the CD, Stacy?
No, I only heard that one.
They played a second song. Howard played a second song, and it rocked, man. It's
Really?
good. It's good. Yeah.
Wow.
It gives me hope that rock maybe will come back someday.
I think it's dead.
It's not dead. You hush.
I don't know. I remember back in the day when we were in college. Stacy was a big, huge Godsmack fan.
No. It was not a Godsmack.
Well, it must have been Godsmack, wasn't it?
No,
shut up.
Was it Godsmack? Are you sure?
Not Godsmack.
No, she liked Pearl Jam. Mike Anderson liked
No, there was another band that you really liked a lot.
Pearl Jam. It's
always been Pearl Jam.
Will be Pearl Jam. I named my kid after.
I thought it was Godsmack.
It was not Godsmack. Thank you very much. I did see Godsmack at the LNG in New London once, but that was not any kind of highlight of my life. Please, oh my goodness.
I did see your husband's band once.
Yes, yeah,
that was fun.
Good times.
He did mention too that he got Eddie hooked on the idea that to have a reunion called the Kitchen Sink Tour, and they were going to get Roth, Hagar, and Gary Cherone and just do this giant thing, bringing back Michael Anthony and the whole bit. So
Dr. Roxo and all that.
No, I think he deserves to have a tribute.
Since 2015, I've been talking with Dad and was introducing the idea. I'd be like, hey, Dad, you know what would be cool? Hear me out. What if I opened for you guys and we had Mike Anthony come back? And it's Time Warner. He warmed up the idea. I got him excited about it, yada, yada, yada. So that would have been cool. But Eddie's cancer caught up, and then just before the tour could become a reality.
Right, but I think they should do like a tribute to him with a bunch of musicians like Steve
Vai.
Vai
and will be down the road. But
yeah, and
they need time.
Yeah, no, but I would
right here,
totally
in my opinion, outside of maybe a tribute show at some point down the line in archival releases, it's done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody that can play like Eddie, but I mean,
there's plenty of people. Do you watch Rick Beato's channel on YouTube?
Yep, love his channel.
There's some Eddie Van Halen impersonators on there that are amazing. And actually, a guy on the Howard Stern show, if you go back to the day after Eddie died, Steve, somebody that works for Howard Stern, was talking about Eddie and how innovative he was, and he was playing his 5150 model, and he was playing, I mean, note for note. So
that was the thing.
I mean, he inspired generations of guitar players.
Right.
You know,
and that's more interesting, I think, for if they did like have a special tribute to have musicians that have made it on their own but have been inspired by him. That that's more interesting than seeing someone just play it like Eddie Van Halen, because no one ever did.
Well, I mean, cherry pick anybody from any 80s hair metal band. Just cherry pick one.
Beyond that, though, it's so beyond that. Like, I think you'd be surprised how many people, in different genres even.
Right. And it's funny, I brought this up after he first passed away too, that if you go on YouTube, there's tons of younger people who are discovering him now for the first time because he died, and they heard like what a legend he was. And they have reaction videos where they watch him do his solo live from the New Haven concert in '86. And they're like, ugh! And watching people have the reaction I had back in 1980, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And you even have like guys who are like rap guys are watching it going, oh my God, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
The one guy I've been following, he got hooked. He's been watching all their music videos and stuff now. He's like, these guys are gods. He got so hooked on it after watching the one solo video. So,
well, his guitar playing was so unique. Everything that you learn, like I play guitar, and everything I learned, I had to almost like break in order to play something like Van Halen because his style was so unorthodox. So if you learned how to play guitar and you were trying to play his stuff, you almost had to actually figure out, wait a second, I can't go to the traditional route. I literally have to try to switch my playing up to sound like him because he didn't sound like anybody else.
Which is ironic because that's exactly how he thought about a guitar. He was like trying to figure out what cool sounds he could get it to make.
Right, and it had nothing to do.
He just wanted to make cool sounds with it.
Right, and it had nothing to do with traditional guitar scales and stuff. He was totally playing outside. That whole tapping thing. Like,
but yet he's so well versed in music theory and he knows music.
Right,
so.
But he totally broke the mold. I mean, no one sounded like him. I mean,
no, the first time you ever heard Eruption, you were like,
yeah.
Huh?
You didn't even know what he was doing until you had to see what he was doing, and he's sitting there going. And you're like, what? I never was taught how to play like that. Like my guitar teacher never told me to tap the freaking fretboard.
And I've seen it a million times too, but for me,
like you could do that, you know,
the track Cathedral, where he's using the volume knob and punching the fret to make it sound like a violin
and swelling,
and he's just turning the knob to the volume up and down and going, you know, it's just.
I mean, there was musicians like him, like when Jimmy Page did the bow, and I mean, there's been people out there that have done a few songs where they've played the guitar differently. But the only other person I could think of is the guy from Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello.
Tom Morello, yeah,
right, who is very unique, and no one plays like him. And his whole way of looking at the instrument is to make noise and sounds and create something as opposed to being traditional.
Yeah, it's a sound effects machine.
Right.
So, Wolfie, there's hope. I'm gonna grab his album when it comes out.
Oh, definitely, I will too.
Yeah. So, rest in peace, Edward Van Halen. Again, the sales of Van Halen CDs and vinyl has gone up 6,000%.
Oh my god!
You can't find this stuff. You go on Amazon and you want to get a Van Halen CD. The cheapest you can find them is like $38, $40.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
who do we have left though? That's my question. I'm so scared now. I'm like, oh my god, you know, like
don't mention their names because they're gonna die next.
There's plenty of young people out there. It's just they need to be inspired and they need to have a market. And
I mean, Foo Fighters right now is pretty much leading the way. I think. I don't know. I don't listen to any new rock music because I don't know what's good out there anymore.
I know.
So, I mean, Pearl Jam's still going. I mean,
they are.
They're still going. But I mean, Soundgarden's gone now. I mean, obviously with Chris Cornell, that was a shot in the heart.
It's amazing how many of the guys from the '90s bands are dead.
I know.
Steve Vai, 60 something, 70. No, what was his birthday?
I mean, Satriani are in their late 60s. Yeah. But
I mean,
there'll be a whole generation of young people, but there's got to be.
I want it to happen so bad because the music now is so stale. I mean, at least for me, I sound like an old man now, but
it's awful. I'm with you, but hey, there's a new Foo album coming February 1st, so there's hope, right?
Yeah, Foo Fighters all the way, man.
All right, how about this? Tobey Maguire's back.
Yeah, I saw this. I have mixed feelings.
Oh, Jude, you don't sound happy about this. How could you not sound happy? The Tobster.
He was the first Spider-Man I actually liked. Like he's the first one.
No, he's actually my favorite. Yeah.
He was a great Spider-Man. I have not seen any with Andrew Garfield. I feel kind of weird about that, but
I don't missing anything.
I like never saw any of them. I mean, I love.
He's not the worst thing in those movies. He's trying really hard, and you can tell he really wants the role. But the movies are just so bad.
I would see like previews and interviews, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch any.
You'll watch one, and literally the next day, forget what you watched.
Really?
Well, our good friend Alex Kurtzman is in with those, and especially the second one. I think Alex Kurtzman wrote the second one. The problem with Garfield, he's a good actor, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a fantastic
Peter
actor.
Peter Parker's totally wrong in those movies, and he keeps changing. He goes from skateboard punk Peter to science nerd Peter to angry emo Peter to constantly shifting. He's not consistent. Where Maguire's was written so well. I mean,
Yeah.
you know who he is. He's a dork.
Is it bad I only want to see Tobey Maguire and not the other two?
Oh, I love Tom Holland. I think he's a great Spider-Man.
I do too. I just
The problem with Tom Holland is it's not Spider-Man at all. It's Iron Man.
He's Tony Stark.
But Tony Stark's my favorite. So it makes me I appreciate that relationship.
As a lifelong Spider-Man fan, I find the Tom Holland Spider-Man repugnant.
I want them to stick to the.
It's not even close.
Right, but I want them to stick to the Ditko formula. I'm all about that.
Into the Spider-Verse, though, Miles as the Spider-Man. Did you like that, or did you like that?
It was okay.
It's okay.
I read the Miles books and stuff, but that's just it's
not your classic Spider-Man that you grow up with. Is that
it's almost the exact same character, only race swapped.
Right.
Oh, I thought it was so different. The story was so different. Like he had two parents.
That's a movie, but I mean, on the whole, the high school kid who's got he's got all the same.
Oh yeah, it's part of the Spider-Verse, right? And which I think it expanded that for me. That whole idea of,
to me, there's one Spider-Man. The Spider-Verse thing was a Marvel stunt dance slot.
I think it's fun. I think it gives it.
But I think they're diverse because they had Spider-Gwen. They had
no, they have all that in the comics. It was based on a comic book.
Right. But they're trying to make it that Spider-Man, could be any I don't know. I just feel like it's too saturated at this point.
Some excuses to be lazy. Instead of creating new characters, they just make knockoffs of existing characters, and they just call it the multiverse.
Right.
But they had the Doc.
We had a comment that likes Miles Morales.
What's that?
Miles Morales.
We said we have a comment that likes Miles Morales.
We do. Thank you for monitoring.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I read the books and it's fine. It's
just.
I
think that's it though. You have a different perspective because you read the books. Like I only watch the movie, so it's a completely different experience.
No, but in the books, like I said, I would rather see new characters than knockoffs of existing characters.
I hear you on that. I agree. I think that's it's always fun for.
It's cheap. It's cheap, easy way out of doing something.
I just feel like I get overwhelmed sometimes, especially like if I go into a comic book store and there's too much of a.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that. We'll get to that.
No, well, yeah, we know about that. But I just never felt like when I read one Spider-Man book or I read one version of Spider-Man that I was going to jump into another one. It just got overwhelming. I was like, oh my God, I can't get into another one, and I touched base with it. Like I read up on it to see what was going on, but I think it's like Deadpool. Like they put Deadpool in everything, and after a while, I couldn't stand Deadpool because he's injected into fucking everything, and I don't like when they do that. They oversaturate stuff. I'm not big on that.
Right.
I hear you.
Now, have they said that he's actually coming back as Spider-Man, or are they just recasting him as another
Been
part?
revealed to us by sources now, so it's sources.
Yes, everything's everything else.
Close to the project that Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange 2 will feature Tobey Maguire as his version of Spider-Man. The sources did also add that it will be a cameo appearance and involve the multiverse, right? Small screen. Don't forget, Sam Raimi is directing the new Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Anything that Sam Raimi does, except for the third Spider-Man, was good. So,
and even that, compared to some of these sequels, is it's gold now. Gold, Jerry, gold.
But I've always held the torch for Sam Raimi because I'm a big Evil Dead fan. So,
everything is a knockoff of everything else. Jessica writes.
Yeah. Of course, Hollywood wouldn't exist without that formula.
There
would be going to the movies.
There are better knockoffs, than others.
But I mean, I go back to I keep going back to the heyday of the 80s comics where, you had creations like Cloak and Dagger. You had the Teen Titans. They've endured. They're still with us. They were new characters created then. You don't get that now. Now you get Spider-Gwen, Spider this, Spider that, right. Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man.
Futuristic one.
It's just it's creative bankruptcy in a way. But it doesn't matter because comics are going bye-bye soon.
Well, it's easier to have something to play off of as opposed to creating something that's new, I think.
Oh, I know.
So it's like if you are going to write a Spider-Man character, you're already laid out that he got bit by a spider, that he Aunt May, you have all the characters and all the material in front of you. You just need to mold it and take off with it.
Pete, what do you think of this?
I think they should just put it to HBO Max and get it over with, because I mean they got to make money on it eventually.
I think they should release it now. Just put it out.
Why can't they simultaneously put it in the theaters for the ones that are open, but also have it so people can buy it at home? What's the big deal with that?
I know. Exactly.
I don't understand the conflict there.
That's what I'm saying. The whole idea that they've been holding these movies back is to wait until spring when the coof is gone and maximize profits. And yet movie theaters are shutting down, mostly because they can't afford to stay anymore. There might not be giant multiplexes in the spring to show these things in. So I agree. I'm like, why don't you just put it out now? Whoever's not afraid or whoever can go.
Mm-hmm.
And then, right, like you said, even wait a week or two and then drop it on VOD.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, this is a movie they want to make $1 billion from. They're not going to get it.
No, absolutely not. They're not going to get it.
Right.
They should play the long game instead of thinking they're just going to get it all in a couple weeks. That's.
Well, and that's the other thing right now, because the menu of new movies is so lean.
Mm-hmm.
They can leave this in the theater for a year.
Absolutely.
Just leave it there.
I agree.
Eventually people are going to catch up to it. And we saw it with Tenet. Tenet has $400 million globally. That's not terrible.
Right, considering. Especially.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Tenet will make more in home video.
Absolutely.
So just do that. I don't get the stubbornness here. And why they want to release it on HBO Max in May, or I'm sorry, May release HBO Max.
I think they said in January, actually. I think it said January.
January.
Well, how can they make money? So they're just expecting to get money from HBO because.
Well, no, they own HBO. So they're just going to put it out there. And it's all based on subscribers. The problem with HBO Max right now is you can't get it on your Roku or your Fire Stick or anything like that. It's a cable channel. So, and who the hell has cable? I'm old and I don't have cable.
I haven't cable since 2012.
I got cable.
Me too.
HBO. I got HBO. I have all.
Well, then we're all going to Stacy's house to watch.
To my house. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Early January. So I don't know. I think that's a bad move. I think they should just put it out and whatever happens, happens. And
that's been going. That's been the going theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can stick with the Christmas or do it sooner. I think definitely.
It was supposed to be a Christmas release anyway.
Yeah.
So just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll keep the theaters going, which is good for the studios in the long run.
Yeah, they're not giving.
I want to go watch this in the theater. I don't want to watch this on TV.
Agreed. Definitely.
So I have a question. Would you guys rather see a movie or a series?
Depends on the story.
Not just related to Wonder Woman. I'm just in general. Like I just got done watching The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, don't give any spoilers.
No, I won't. And I loved it. But
that's pretty great. Yeah.
But if it was a movie, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as if it was a series.
I mean, it's it's kind of an apple orange thing.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're designing it to be a longer story and breathe and be told over a longer time, then clearly you want to do a series.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're,
you can develop your characters better in a series.
Do I want to watch a James Bond series? No, I want to go sit down for 2 hours and watch James Bond kick people's ass and pick up my teeth off the theater floor on my way out. That's what I want out of James Bond. I don't need a James Bond series. I probably wouldn't watch it.
What I'm going with this is, what do people want to watch during what's happening now? Would they enjoy a series and watch it on TV, or is it worth doing a movie and actually getting people into the theaters?
I like having both options. Sometimes I feel like a movie,
I want, exactly.
The satisfaction of being done with it in one sitting instead of,
I'm going to see Goldfinger tomorrow night in the theater.
Oh, nice.
I haven't been to the theater.
I might go see Casablanca. It's playing in the
Where?
In Mystic.
Oh,
nice.
Hey,
That's only about 15
Are they going to have it
minutes
through the weekend?
I don't know. I can look it up for you. Hang on.
That would be awesome.
I
Casablanca.
haven't seen it in so long. I would love to see it.
And
in the
that's the
theater.
beauty right now. These theaters are showing some films that I was not even an imagination, part of someone's imagination when Goldfinger came out in 1964.
Tomorrow.
Keith, we could do a date. We could stop and get Lenny and Joe's and then go to the movie.
Mystic Casablanca?
Well,
cool.
if you stop at Lenny and Joe's and get seafood, and then we can go.
Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. You can rent the theater and watch any movie you want, though.
We're trying to do that. We're trying to do that.
We got to do that.
We talked about that like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, Goldfinger Wednesday. Thursday night I have a parent-teacher conference. So I can't, because it's 3 hours. It's going to be like 6 o'clock my time to do it.
Oh, that's when that's when it starts. I'll keep my eyes peeled if they put it out again.
That would be awesome. Yeah. I'm all about the theater like you, Stacey.
Oh, I love it. I love going to the theater.
I like the drive-in too.
Oh,
we had fun at the drive-in this summer.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're watching at the drive-in. If it's something you've never seen before, the audio isn't the greatest, and you got idiots with their high beams up on the screen or driving across. But if it's something like Jaws or Jurassic Park or something,
oh yeah, Jaws. I went and saw that down at Musqueam. They had a drive-in theater across from the beach. I got to watch Jaws from there.
Nice. But yeah, but if it's a movie that you've seen before, Jaws, Ghostbusters, what else did we see? It was
Goonies.
Yeah, it's nice to hear everybody speaking along with it, or hearing it out of multiple speakers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I would go to a drive-in to see something I've never seen before.
No, don't go to a first run movie at the
right, or something important. Other than kids.
I think it was when we saw Jaws. People were showing up like half an hour late, and they're driving in
People
front
were
of
leaving halfway through when we went. I'm like, what did you think you were doing?
The people in front of us kept their light on in their car, and they couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
Remember that?
And so we're like, and the guy's like, he's like underneath the seat, like pushing buttons and trying to figure out.
Because these cars, these automatic, So he wanted to listen to the movie on the radio. So when he turns the radio, he has to put the car, into
oh my god,
or whatever to listen to the radio, and it turned the damn lights on. Right in the face.
Jude, apparently you said something that Jessica agrees with.
I know, she must disagree with me often.
Queen's Gambit was awesome.
Oh,
yeah. I think everyone agrees with that, right? I mean, I have not heard one negative thing about that. A lot of praise.
No, I know. That's great.
No, Queen's Gambit was really good, and it got like I think it's still holding strong on Rotten Tomatoes, like 98% or something.
Like number 1 on Netflix, I think, right?
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about watching it again. I liked it that much.
Well, if Mando doesn't pick up, I'll have to switch. I can't believe I've fallen asleep on the last 2 episodes of Mandalorian. I wake up and I'm like, and it's like I missed 15 or 20 minutes of it. I'm like, it's the first episode was great, I thought, with Timothy Oliphant, but
yeah, I just like the whole they're really playing that Western theme, which I love in Mando.
Yeah, I do like
this.
It's got a very it's got the Man with No Name type score to it.
Right, and then he walks into that dusty town, and he kind of gets into the saloon, and you can actually hear Spurs. They actually put it in, and like you don't pick up on it. You're like, wait a second, he's walking into the saloon, and there's Spurs.
Feel a little small though. Like there were only like 10 people that lived in that town.
Right,
like because the whole thing is a virtual set, so they can only fit so many people on the soundstage. And it's funny because once you realize that they're doing that with the gaming engine walls, so the whole thing's virtual, then you start to see, oh yeah, like it was one of the new episodes. It was the one with the water, with the shipping. They had the big thing, the big it looked like the AT-AT, and it was like moving, and there was people walking, and you could tell where they were going to hit the video wall. Because there were like 30 extras, and they were walking, but they stopped because you knew it was the back of the wall, the backstage. They couldn't go any further into the background. It was kind of funny. They're all clustered up. I was like, oh, that's where the video wall is. HBO is a standalone app. HBO Max.
But you can buy it. You can just buy HBO Max, I think.
Yeah, right, but it's not available for Roku or Fire Sticks yet, as far as I
don't know about that.
I think for Fire Stick it is, because a Fire Stick is
I'm not sure.
It plays HBO Go, right? I mean,
last week, Clownfish was talking about it, and they said it was still not available. So,
but can't you, if you have an Android device, can't you just watch it on your tablet or your phone and stream it to your television?
Probably. Yeah, you can. I've done that though with that Play 2 app, and it just crashes constantly.
So why would Amazon be blocking HBO Max? I'm just reading
it. They just didn't develop the app. They didn't develop the apps for it.
Competition. Yeah.
You want to develop
before
it.
They consolidated. They had the HBO Go, the HBO Now. They consolidated the whole thing, but they didn't build a new app yet.
Well, if the FBI is listening, I watch all my stuff illegal, so
I'm sure they're listening.
I have no idea who this man is. He just crashed this show.
My Fire Stick.
I have no affiliation with this guy, Judah Buddha. I don't know who he is.
I pay for everything. I pay for share, no worries.
My Fire Stick is so hacked.
Fire Stick doesn't even work anymore. It's a legit one.
Speaking of hacks, this guy Hal Eagle, and he's stirred the pot before.
I love that scene. Committed suicide.
Is that the third episode? I think I slept through that.
That's the last one.
I did see I saw the Imperial guy. I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
He bit the version of the Imperial cyanide pill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, this guy Hal Hinkle, right?
Hickle.
His name wrong?
Hickle.
The Fonzie?
Pickle, like pickle.
Hal Hickle. Says the U.S. needs a federal mask mandate with penalties, calling for more than just monetary penalties. That these just punish the poor and stupid, and lets the rich and stupid off the hook.
Yeah, I don't.
He basically says people should have to watch people die.
Yeah, but of COVID, because they're just like. I mean, I get it, but I get what you're saying, and I think it's extreme, but I think it's hyperbole. I think he's being. Do you think he really thinks that could happen?
No, he does. If you go back into his history, he totally believes this. In fact, I think he held back. I think he actually wants people to die from not wearing a mask, is what he really wants. But if you go back into this guy's history, at some point, Pete, you said it last week that Disney's not going to let this shit happen much longer. You can't have your employees going on social media and saying crap like this when you're trying to sell a product to somebody. It's completely Pete,
it's at some point, they're going to realize, oh shit, we aren't making any money with a certain point of view, and so we got to start making money and realize that we don't like Donald Trump, but his money, but his supporters' money is just as green as everybody else's, so let's just not play either side.
It's as simple as this. I'm a vendor for several large Fortune 10 corporations, Fortune 50 and Fortune 10. And when I am doing work for them, I'm representing their corporation.
Mm-hmm.
So I would never go on Twitter and put something like this down for fear of losing my contract with those corporations who might read that shit. It's completely irresponsible. It's beyond irresponsible. And you're right. If this election taught us anything, it's that we are carved right down the middle. And you're telling half your paying customers to F off and die. Well, or not die, but watch other people die. It's colossally irresponsible. And I can't believe these guys keep getting away with this stuff. I really can't.
Disney will have enough of it at some point. It would never
cross my mind to put something like this on social media when I know people at these companies are watching. But these guys, they think they're bulletproof. They live Hollywood. The people in entertainment live in a vacuum, and they are so out of touch with what's really going on. and they think they're bulletproof, and somehow they think their IQ goes up with their paychecks, and it doesn't. Sorry, Hal. You push pixels for a living. Your job is to move dots. That's what you do for a job. So shut the hell up and do your job and stay off Twitter and stop threatening people. End of rant.
We got another rant here. We got Night Owl 2 says Doomsday Clock sucks. Those garbage movies by Marvel inspired that trash. I hope Jeff Johns never writes another comic book again.
Funny you say that, Night Owl. And I didn't clip the story, but I can go grab it if we need to. According to Ethan Van Sciver, he's out at DC, and he's going over to Image to do a book at Image. I could find that story real quick. Yeah. I didn't bother with Doomsday Clock. I did like Three Jokers, Night Owl. If you did,
I didn't even bother.
It was very, very good.
Why touch something that shouldn't be touched? That doesn't sound right. But anyway,
they did it. They're trying to tie the regular DC universe to the Watchmen universe, so they can make it all one.
Because
big
they think
happen.
it'll sell books,
right?
You know, hey.
So here it is. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank make surprise jump to Image Comics. The Doomsday Clock duo are breaking out on their own. So I don't know how permanent or temporary that is. God, these pop-up ads. Who did I offend to get all these pop-up ads? But yeah. I don't know. I'll check it out, I guess. Wouldn't hurt. It's going to be like $3.
Jeff Johns is going to ruin Image Comics the same way he ruined Watchmen.
Well, the nice thing about Image Comics is it's creator-owned stuff. So it's not like he's going to have his fingers in all the titles. He's going to have his fingers in one title, and that would be his. So the easy way around that is you just don't buy it.
Right.
So, I don't think you'll have to worry about it. We got some DC news coming up. That's DC's done.
Yeah, most of all the titles that I read now are all Image titles anyway, except for Batman. And I haven't bought anything. I haven't bought anything new since the New 52. So, and I had to tolerate King's fucking terrible writing, but I did it anyway.
You just gave me the segue.
Fuck that dude. Fuck his writing and fuck him. Oh. I literally got through 25 issues, and every single time I was like, oh my God, this is like going back and getting beaten up by like a full bully. So bad.
So, remember this summer when he attacked Jay Lee, right?
Yep.
So are you going to buy this, by the way, Jude? Are you going to buy the Batman Catwoman series that he's doing?
Oh, dude. I'll tell you the truth. My brother lives by telling me to read his Vision run. He's like, it's fucking amazing.
It was good, actually.
I can't fucking do it. I can't.
No, you should. It's creepy. You'll like it. It's got a horror slant to it. You'd actually like it. He's not a bad writer. He just he messed with Batman a little too much. So anyway, Marvel, DC, bleh. Let Mark Doyle go.
Stay tuned, Night Owl. Stay tuned.
Let Mark Doyle go. So King goes on Twitter and he says, the transcendent, brilliant, visionary editor Mark Doyle is leaving DC this week. I would not have a career without Mark. He gave me my first gig, my first ongoing, made me take insane risks on big stages in every genre. He tirelessly pushed comics to be better. A true legend. And then Marvel editor Tom Brevoort just drags him. Didn't you force him off the Batman titles and then crow about it in an interview? It's a bit odious to cry over bodies when you had a hand in killing them.
Wow.
Oh,
nice.
Dunked. Wow. He got dunked on. Tom King is not winning points with people this year, huh?
No, he's burnt himself so bad. I'm surprised he's just not melted by now.
DC Comics is going to die. Yay.
I mean,
wow.
Here's the thing. You would think if you kept your mouth shut, your reputation would be like, who's going to want to read his shit now? I don't. I never want to read his stuff.
Well, you're making the point I keep making, and it's the whole thing, right? When you do this to people, when you attack people,
Doesn't matter how good of a writer you are. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. It's plain and simple. I mean, it's kind of sad because I've met musicians who weren't very nice to me. Like they wouldn't give me their autograph or whatever, or just weren't nice. And that changes your whole perspective of the music. All of a sudden, you're like, wait a second, I listened to this guy's fucking lyrics and I actually like his lyrics. He's a scumbag.
Well, sometimes you got to separate the art from the artist. I like to use Mel Gibson as an example.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson's a nutbag, okay? But he's very talented. He's a great actor, and he's an even better director. I'm not going to not watch Braveheart again or, the Lethal Weapon movies because he's an asshole. Yeah, in real life, he's an asshole. But his art, he's very good at. So, but Christian Bale, he's a dude.
J.K. Rowling, everybody's out to cancel her for everything,
Which is
but
ridiculous.
can you cancel?
Absolutely ridiculous.
But, remember the night Stephen Piercy wanted to beat me up?
There should be a button on Twitter that says, "Are you sure you want to send this?" and then when you click it, it'll ask you one more time, "Are you absolutely sure you want to send this?" I mean, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You were with me the night Stephen Piercy from Rat wanted to fight me, right, Jude?
Yeah. He pointed.
Oh, I think I've heard the story.
Yeah, it's good.
What did he thought you spit on him or something? I forgot.
No, he thought I told him off. Like we went to see him in this small club in Waterbury. I forgot what it was called. It's an old train station, and he wasn't playing any old Rat songs. And this dude in front of me, who's like 6'90", he couldn't see me behind this guy. The guy goes, "You fucking suck," and then he like ran away. He like said it and ran because there were literally. Dude, what were there, 25, 30 people?
Yeah, there must have been
there's nobody there.
Like 10 people there. And I think we were in the front, so...
Right, and he looks up and he goes, "You fucking asshole." And I was like, it wasn't me. And he's going, "Fuck you, man." And he's like, you kick your ass. I didn't do anything. So the whole show, he keeps pointing at me and he's like...
Oh my God.
And then...
Crazy.
And then we were with somebody she was like obsessed with him.
We only went because my friend Gina was obsessed with him.
Right. So we had to wait outside by his tour bus for him to come out. And I was like, "Oh, this is not going to go well."
So he comes walking out and he sees me and he goes, "Hey, you're the fucking guy." And I go, "No, man, it wasn't me. It was this dude and man. I was trying to make that known." And he goes, "Oh, all right. You want to come on the bus and get high?"
You know what's really funny is that they played a whole show and there was literally like maybe less than a dozen people watching it. And then he finally decided to play Round and Round because everybody way at the back bar was like, "Play Round and Round." And of course, that's a famous Rat song. Mm-hmm. And this was his own Steve Piercy band. So then he decided to play it and everybody just went, and all of a sudden it turned from like a little less than a dozen to more than a dozen. So everybody just wanted to hear him sing that one song.
That was a trip.
Yeah, that was funny. And he had some crazy song called "The Fuck" or something, remember?
Yes.
And he was going, "The fuck! The fuck!" And Keith and I are just looking at each other go, "What?" And he's like, "The fuck!" I was like, "The fuck? What?"
Then he just kept screaming, "The fuck!"
I wouldn't want to listen to that. Like, why would
he was trying.
"Oh, honey, they're playing our song."
The admission alone was worth that song, right there.
It was. Like he was trying to get into modern music. It was like late
right.
90s.
It was like during the grunge era, so he's trying to be a little grungy.
A little past the grunge. Like
yeah,
it was like typical 80s bands when they try to like get into what's hip, they're already too late. So thank you. I will. And he was like they were already in like Limp Bizkit was that rap metal thing was hot, and he's doing like early 90s stuff. It was it was something to see, that's for sure.
And where is he now?
He's back in
doing
Rat.
commercials for insurance.
He's back in Rat. He's in the Geico commercial.
Yeah, Geico.
Oh, is he?
Rat problem.
How's he with rats?
Cable.
I had a rat problem. It's Geico, right?
Geico.
Yeah.
Geico.
Like the one with the ants. The ant problem.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
Geico or is it?
Yep.
I don't know.
It's Geico. We got a rat
Aunt
problem.
Bonnie's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expired.
Oh, the ants. Yeah.
Yeah. The rats one was fun though.
I like the rat one.
Yeah, that's a good one. They had rats.
One more Mando. We got one more Mando story here that I have to get rid of. Edson sent this one in. Where is he? Gina Carano keeps getting the shit beat out of her on Twitter.
Well, she keeps putting stuff out there, so she obviously doesn't mind.
Yeah, no. What I love about her is she doesn't back down to anybody. She tweets like common sense stuff, just common sense.
Common sense.
And
it's tinged.
And gets
common
completely
sense
attacked.
on Twitter.
But it's amazing what these these peaceful lefties write back to her, like die. This site here, Data Racer 117 is great. He collects all these tweets and puts them on collage, and it's fuck you bitch, blah blah blah. Again, like who cares who she supports? She's entitled.
Thing is, I'm always worried that if I was to ever express my toxic opinion, if I was to get really toxic with somebody,
you're toxic.
I am toxic. I'm drinking toxic stuff. That it would reflect on me at my job or something, right? Don't these people get in trouble?
That's what I just said.
No, that's what we were talking about. Disney is going to get sick of this shit at some point and basically tell them to
right. But I'm just talking about
the shit.
I'm just talking about how Disney lost what $5 billion.
Right, but I'm not even talking celebrities. I'm just talking vile people in general. Like before you. Hit
So if
yeah. Well, it
probably would.
Well, that's how I said. Like I think the people that do this clearly don't have much to lose. They're sitting they're sitting home on their computers. They're not creating anything. They're not accomplishing anything. They're just sitting there picking fights with people on Twitter and trolling. Like it's like they're paid trolls or something. I don't care.
And it's easy to hide behind an avatar and say whatever you want.
Right.
I won't even comment on my local community forum because people are just so goddamn mean.
No, it's true. I get
I don't want
nervous.
that. Like, you put your stuff out there, though. You kind of open yourself up to that type of hate, because people are so hateful, like no matter what. I mean, in every realm,
that is clearly like a haven for.
Well, you almost have to think even now when you write something like same thing. I'm on my town community page, and I actually think if I write something a certain way, is it going to offend somebody? Where I'm going to actually get a comment like, "Screw you, buddy," or
you will always offend someone because you're
no matter what.
No matter what.
Like you could, it doesn't matter.
I mean, these people are on standby. They're literally on standby. They're just like waiting. They're tapping their foot, like just waiting. Oh, there it is. Let's go.
No.
Some people are just looking for something to be offended by. Like we were talking about the Mandalorian female armor. Like I bet you $10 that if you didn't do it, they'd be upset that you're not playing up to the fact that they're feminine. It would be you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Like a famous comedian said once, like no matter what you say, people are gonna like send you hate because you can say, "Oh, it's such a beautiful day." Oh, it must be nice to be where you are. It's not a beautiful day where I am. Like and turn it into some whole nasty thing. You know what I mean?
That's well put. That's a great.
And imagine being married to these people. That's what I mean. Like,
the hate, the vitriol is just so like rampant.
I mean, yeah, it's just like
does it hurt to feel that nasty? No.
Right, but is it like an internet persona, or are these people really that way in real life? But
there you go, Night Owl.
Yeah, this is
can't wait for Edson any longer.
This is kind of sad in a way because I like Jim Lee being part of DC.
Ethan Van Sciver will have to talk about who he is to begin with. He used to work at DC, a little bit at Marvel. He left DC a couple of years ago because he would not do "quote unquote" woke comics. He would not compromise his story ideas for mandates, and started what they call Comicsgate now,
Which
and
is stupid. It's so stupid.
well, they've embraced it, and there's a good story about that coming.
We need to embrace it.
So he does his own YouTube channel, and he's got friends clearly still at DC and Marvel, and they've been telling him things. He predicted back in February, before there was even a coof, that DC would be closing this year. So this is what he said on his YouTube video that I downloaded, but I didn't have time to clip out. I was going to clip these sound bites, but I didn't have time. So in case you haven't figured it out yet, DC Comics is closing down their publishing division. Don't worry, everyone. That doesn't mean there isn't going to be Batman, Superman, maybe Wonder Woman and stuff. What I think is happening going forward is DC Comics is going to pare down in the immediate future to a handful of comic books, maybe 12 comic books a month, maybe 12, maybe fewer than that. And these comics are going to be Justice League, Superman, Batman, and that's it. There might be backup stories on those books. Maybe there'll be a Justice League supersized book, and you'll be able to get a Green Lantern short story or a Flash or a Hawkman. But they're not taking any more chances. Publishing is being pared down. Only the best creative teams are going to be allowed to work on them, but they're going to be working for substance level pay. I can't say it.
Substance. Yes, that's a good word. Substance.
In other words, if they stay, they're going to take it in the shoot. So the reason he thinks Jim Lee is leaving is because the new editor-in-chief, Marie Javins, your timing couldn't be better. I was holding this for you, and here we are. I didn't have too many stories left here.
That's it. Good to see you, bro.
Sorry.
So the new editor-in-chief, Marie Javins, will report directly to the general manager, Daniel Cherry.
Oh, yeah, I read that.
Instead of co-publisher and chief creative officer, Jim Lee. Now, traditionally, the editor-in-chief would go straight to the chief creative officer and publisher, not to the general manager of the corporation that owns DC Comics, which is AT&T.
Yep.
A lot of AT&T's actions were to bring in people from outside corporations to come in and basically close DC Comics. Shrink it down. It's insolvent at this point. Shrink it down and get it to a point where it's manageable, and slowly, they're going to divest themselves of DC. And basically what I think they're going to do, these guys are going to license the characters out to other publishers. Pete, you've been saying that all year long.
Yep.
DC also recently fired Dan DiDio, where Van Sciver says Jim Lee didn't even want to take on DiDio's responsibilities. Jim Lee was co-president with Dan DiDio, but it was completely an honorary title. Jim Lee didn't belong there. He didn't do very much there, explains Van Sciver. It was just that he'd become so powerful and is such a valuable piece of horse flesh. Obviously, the guy can draw that well. You want to keep him on board. Jim Lee was uncomfortable in his position when Dan DiDio was fired, and a lot of people were thinking this meant he was going to be performing the role that DiDio has performed all these years. Jim Lee doesn't want to do that. He's not capable of doing that. That's not what he wants to do.
No, he's an artist.
Not his role.
He's an artist.
Evans is now reporting directly to Daniel Cherry, not to the publisher, not to the president of DC. He's the publisher and chief creative officer. That's Jim Lee. Normally, Javins would report to him, but she's not. She's reporting to the general manager.
There's a reason why you hire people to
this
run
is managing a decline.
Right.
She's going to be asking permission from this guy. Can I do this book while closing down the company? She's going to skip over Jim Lee, who's the creative officer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, I like him with DC, but he's an artist. His first role is an artist. He's not a manager.
Well,
he's not a businessman.
They like he said, he called him horseflesh, but the idea basically was, if you make him the face of DC Comics, the audience doesn't panic.
Right.
Of course. Right. Because he's a well-known.
Right.
I've actually personally heard that from a comic book shop owner. Hey, Jim Lee is there and in charge, so I trust that DC is going to be okay.
Yes, right. I was just going to say the same thing. I've heard.
Okay.
I think we were both standing there at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, right.
And we heard that statement made. Yeah.
But he's not a business guy. He's not a paper pusher. He's an artist.
No,
he draws on paper. He's not.
No, they basically made him the DC hood ornament.
Well, that too. Right.
So they can sit there behind the scenes and start cutting away, while he stands there and smiles, and everybody feels good about it because everyone on the planet loves Jim Lee. Everyone loves Jim Lee.
They are making a use of his time, though. I believe he's making a new portfolio of all the characters so that they can auction them out.
Right, it's in here somewhere, right? Yes. Jim Lee's job right now is to finish the style guides for all of the intellectual properties that AT&T now owns, says Van Sciver. So Jim Lee is sitting there going, so this is what Firestorm looks like, and he's drawing all the different Firestorms. He's getting the Bible together of all the properties that AT&T now owns, and Jim Lee is going to hit the highway. He's going to be out of there. He's going to get an enormous golden parachute.
Well, he's got notoriety alone.
Oh, he's got. But
his name alone is bigger than DC. I think.
Oh, right.
I hate to say that, but it's true. If you go to a con, there's people waiting out the friggin' door, trying to get his trying to get something signed. You go to the DC booth, no one gives a shit.
But Ethan asks, will he retire at that point, or will he move on creatively and create his own company?
He could do whatever he wants.
Exactly, he can do whatever he wants.
He could start his own comic book company, and people would still buy his stuff.
Bleeding Cool seems to back up Ethan's claims, as DC Comics will be done as we know it. The DC is abandoning comic book shops as well as appearances at comic book conventions.
Damn.
Yep.
And that goes with this story, Bloodbath Part 2. We remember back in, what was it, July-ish, Pete, when DC wiped out 50% of their staff.
That sounds about right. And yeah, it was that bad.
So this is from Rich. Oh no, this is from Bounty in the Comics, JB Augustine, but he's reporting on Bleeding Stool, Rich Johnson.
At number 2.
Yeah. So Michelle Wells is out, and they just promoted her this summer.
I know.
Reported that Bloodbath,
right?
Do all the YA stuff, and they canned her months later. Is there a cat meowing?
Maybe they noticed that the YA stuff wasn't going to work.
He's been sitting next to me for like a half hour meowing to pick him up.
Yeah. So Wells here, she was on the bubble when her co-editor-in-chief, Marie Javins, was elevated to the sole EIC position. So then we go down here and we start looking at the people that were hacked this week. Director of Marketing Services, Adam Phillips, who's been there 26 years. So they're not worried about marketing. Sales manager Stuart Schreck, who's 21 years at DC.
Wow.
Running a comic book store in the New York market. So he would be a guy who deals with the direct market, the stores. Go on. Fletcher Chu Fong, events director of 18 years. There's your Comic Cons.
What's the point? Yeah.
Go on.
What's the point of him? Yeah.
Go on. Sandy Yee, senior vice president of global franchise management for 9 years.
Yeah.
Go on. Lisette Osterloh, VP of digital marketing and events. Go on. So they cut. Pete's got the scissors out. And they've informed group editor Alex Carr his services are no longer required after 2 years at his post. So it's a total of 9 staffers, but many of them have been there for years. And the ones that stick out to me are the ones who do events.
Right.
Yeah.
So there goes the Comic Cons. They're done.
Did I tell you about Neil Adams? He goes on Instagram like every night and tries to auction off all his.
Yeah, we did that a couple weeks ago.
He tries to auction off his bookcase.
So this is pretty sad. I mean, it's an end of an era. DC's been around.
I mean,
since
DC.
1930s.
What is it, like 100 years now? Jeez.
Almost.
It's almost 100 years.
You've got to be kidding me with this stuff.
Yeah, and 4 years ago things were fine. This has nothing to do with COVID and everything to do with the content of their comics, because comics on Kickstarter have garnered $22 million this year.
Right. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves with his Berserker comic. I didn't think.
Oh, that was him. That has.
Now that's just Kickstarter. There's just as many, like Ethan's on Indiegogo, and he's made over $2 million this year.
Amazing. That's awesome.
So clearly,
there's a market.
The market for comics is there.
Mm-hmm.
The market for corporate comics is not.
Right, but the characters alone are valuable, and that's the issue.
Well, the intellectual, but nobody wants to read Tom King's woke Batman. Nobody wants to read Batwoman or Batgirl joining Antifa. Nobody wants to read that shit.
If Scott Snyder started doing Batman again, I'd read it.
So,
oh my gosh, Tynion's killing with Batman. He's the best one so far.
yeah, James Tynion's doing great.
And I feel bad because
I
he
will
had
be
such
right
great
back.
plans for next year.
So,
I will be right back.
all right. So, yeah, Berserker, I put into that one. You know, and then, yeah, you did too, right?
Yep.
So, this one here, Ava's Demon, this Michelle Jakowski.
Wow, $500,000.
Twice. So she made almost $1 million on 2 books.
That's pretty crazy. I love that women are being represented in a.
Oh, there's plenty of women in the industry.
It goes to show, right? You don't have to do all that woke stuff. It's it happens organically if you just let it.
Right. Lady Death. Look, there's a comic book called Lady Death, and
Lady Death's been around for a while.
Here's another one right here. Three Lady Deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another $1 million.
My question is that do they give you a little bit of a preview to read before you actually?
Some do. I know, like
I could never just randomly just put money into.
No, well,
unless I had something to read, like a first chapter or something.
If you go to EVS's Indiegogo and look at his Cyberfrog comic, and he puts a trailer, like a 3-minute video trailer, together that tells you the plot of the story, this artwork, and it's really well done. His Indiegogo is pretty cool. Like for like $35, you get the book in like a toy. You get a
oh wow
toy of one of the characters. Yeah.
So I'm curious to know if DC will probably be doing this as well. If they say if you subscribe or you donate and we get to a limit, then we'll release a story that you guys want.
No, they won't, because AT&T doesn't give a shit.
Mm.
The difference with Marvel and DC is they are owned by huge corporations, Disney and AT&T, and they don't give a shit.
Why do they keep them?
They
then?
don't make money with that. That's why they're getting rid of it. They're just cutting the
Why
fat.
don't they sell them then to someone else? Isn't there an independent?
Oh, they're gonna lease the characters, the popular characters.
Oh, that's kind of, yeah, but they can only take them
like,
so far, right?
If you read this, and I'm not going to read this whole letter. This is from Jason Kilar, who's he's CEO of Warner Media now. So, and he just he basically says, we have to look at what makes us money and what doesn't, and what works with modern audiences and what doesn't. And, it's corporate gobbledygook for, sorry, comic books are shit. And he just doesn't care. The damage is so deep now that to rebuild this will take too much investment. They don't invest in this anymore.
Well, what's really funny is that but
the market clearly dictates. And
There's
2 months to go. 22 million on this site alone. I'd love to see if there's an Indiegogo total for this year somewhere.
Well, what's really funny is, and I don't collect a lot of action figures, but Hasbro has been releasing this thing called Pulse. And basically what they do is if you really want to see a toy, like you want to see a life-size AT-AT for, for a 6-inch action figure, they basically listen to the fans, and the fans will donate money.
It's not about the size, Jude. It's really
no. But what I'm trying to say is that they purposely will do small runs of very articulated figures, vehicles, or whatever if the fans put in the money for it. And so they released this Hasbro Pulse thing. So if the fans really want it that bad, if some adult collector, not like me, but if some adult collector wants to have like an A-wing or something, Hasbro will do it if there's a backing for it.
Right.
So they released a Hasbro Pulse.
Right.
Lego does something very similar, where basically there's people can post their ideas, and if there's if there's enough of a demand for a certain project, then Lego will make a set.
Right.
There's a Doctor Who set, there's a Back to the Future, there's a Ghostbusters, things that wouldn't make a lot of money on a regular run.
Right. And it's only online exclusive. You wouldn't see this on like up the pegs or in Walmart in the toy section.
Right.
It's only for the collectors, but that's how they do it. That's how they get around that.
Right. So here's Ethan's from this past spring. Made $1.1 million. There's the cover by Jay Lee that got Tom King on it.
Great.
So for $35, you get Cyberfrog and Salamander toys, and the book. You get the Cyberfrog toy for $10. You get the Jay Lee cover for $25. I mean, this is great value.
And I think it's great for kids. It'd be great for kids. You get a toy to go along with your comic book.
Yeah, I'll play.
Hell yeah, sign me up. Oh,
I forgot. When I go full screen, it kills the share, right?
Yeah.
Let me go back. Stupid thing. Why can't we hear it? Do you hear it?
Mm-mm.
No, you always have this problem.
Not always. Sometimes I can hear it. That's weird.
No, but we never get to play through the.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you get the idea. You can see what he did here.
Yeah, well, looks cool.
He makes this cool little trailer, and he shows you, he talks about what the book's about. It's very impressive. But that's just one book. One book. He made 1.1 mil.
Damn, makes me want to make a comic book.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, here's
and have a toy around the page.
This is a collection of all his old ones from the 90s that he absolutely hates, but the fans wanted, so he made $400,000 off that one.
Wow, he met his goal too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of these go over. And we can go down and let's find, these are like projects from unknowns. Hero potential. Like this is probably just a regular
video game.
Who's Dwayne Douglas, right?
That's awesome.
Independent creator. He's got 4 days left. He's made 4,000. He wants 10. I hope he makes it. But if he doesn't, the thing with Indiegogo is he gets what he makes on like Kickstarter, where you don't get any of it if you don't meet your goal.
So what are you doing when you're giving at a certain level? You get something, and the money.
So yeah, what you do is you when you crowdfund, you have to give something back. So people donate money to your project, and then you go say like for $40 you get a copy of the game, Jawbreaker. Get all this stuff.
So the game that you're trying to fund.
Game or the comic book or what have you,
or whatever it is.
Right.
You get that. Oh,
yeah. So you get like it's not a prize level. It's a when you become a backer of the project, so you get a package.
And the more money you actually, if you donate more money, you get more exclusive items. So they might include, I don't know, they might include like sketch art, actual sketch art or something, and you get that art. But you have to. The more money you donate, obviously, the more perks you get.
And Indiegogo is all for creative projects.
Indiegogo is like Kickstarter, except the major difference is that there's two. One, Kickstarter, like I said, if you don't meet your goal, you get none of it.
Okay.
The campaign just goes belly up. With Indiegogo, you get whatever you make.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The other thing is there's heavy gatekeeping in Kickstarter, and I'm going to get to that in a second. Here's Alterna Comics. These are our friends out of New Hampshire, Pete Sametti and company. Made $35,000 off of their titles. What's great about Alterna Comics is they're doing old school. They print on newsprint.
Oh wow!
Oh nice.
They don't do it on high gloss paper, so the comics are anywhere between 99 cents and $1.50. Unlike these $4, $5, $6 comics, because they're on glossy paper with variant covers and the whole bit. So, so if you buy this box, you get all this stuff, and
it's really nice because it allows you to take hold of the creative process. You don't answer to anybody.
Right. That's awesome.
There's no corporate boardroom table telling you you can't do that.
Right. There's no corporation bringing in sensitivity readers to tell you what's wrong. Except now,
what's that?
They've been complaining about it since this happened. And Edson can speak to this too. This caused such a kerfuffle.
Why?
Because people got upset that Keanu was using his star power and that Boom Studios is a publisher and they should not be farting around on Kickstarter earning money.
Yeah, but like I said, this could be potential space for DC and Marvel to do it.
Here, I like this guy's attitude. Spike Trotman of Iron Circus. A rising tide raises all ships. If famous people or huge companies want to use Kickstarter, that's not a problem to me.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Or even 10,000 people who have never used Kickstarter before registering an account and investigating a site that's brand new to them. A lot of those people will stick around and back more than one project. And it's Keanu Reeves or Shenmue 3 or Smithsonian, whoever brought them here in the first place. So there's a guy who's comfortable in his own skin, right?
And he's the most humble guy in Hollywood. I'd give that guy fucking $5 just for meeting him.
Right.
Keanu?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh,
Who doesn't
yeah,
love
yeah.
Keanu, please.
I mean, if you ever go on YouTube and you see these stories, he takes the subway like anybody else and gives up his seat.
Yeah. A good guy.
I guess there was a flight canceled, and he bought he rented out a bus for everybody on the flight to drop them off at a hotel or something.
He's
Just
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Using his star power to bring a light into comic books is a great thing for all comic book creators. It's like it brings all this audience in that may not be interested, and now all of a sudden you got all these new people, checking it out. Like why would people have a problem with that?
And clearly this is him.
That's awesome.
We'll see how things go come spring, but the guy who draws his book, Ron Garney, is Connecticut. He lives in Hamden, and
cool.
we're mutual friends Ron's easily accessible. I'm hoping we might be able to get Keanu to do a book signing thing and
bless you, Pete.
Maybe get him on the podcast or something. Yeah.
Bless you.
You tried hiding.
I mean, can you imagine Keanu coming on here? Wow.
Oh my goodness.
He probably would. He's that nice of a guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd have a problem with it. Clearly, we go through Ron. So stay tuned for that.
You know what? I would love to hear him about this whole Kickstarter thing and how he started it.
Yeah. So what happens is you end up getting this Whisper Network, which I will hop over to here. This was an amazing 3-part expose by Penny Parker, which is her, pseudonym, of course. She uncovered this Whisper Network that exists to destroy men in comics. And yes, this is it. It's so funny that no matter what you get into, eventually there's like politics, right? And backstabbing and
well, in this day and age, yes.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing. It was a 3-part article, but she uncovered and exposed this group of women and a couple of men in comics that they were denying it existed, but then she got in. They have a Facebook group that's private, and she got in.
Harry Potter undies. What?
Yeah. So this woman got in undercover and pulled everything out and exposed them. So and prove they're real and they're out to destroy the patriarchy in comic books. So they get upset about Keanu doing the Kickstarter thing. So now they want to infiltrate crowdfunding and gatekeep and control what goes on there. They're already, Scott Snyder and Tony Daniel have one going. So they're, apparently they're seeing these numbers and they want a piece of it now because they were the ones who destroyed. They destroyed corporate comics with this bullshit. They destroyed the industry, and now they want to go after this.
I'm curious to see if DC and Marvel are going to bite onto this. They have to at some point.
No, they won't.
No,
I don't know. I mean,
no, they won't. Dude, they'll make more money leasing the characters to somebody like Boom Studios.
Yeah.
It'll be
and wash their hands of it.
You'll read Batman published by Boom.
Yeah, I don't.
No, that's
how it'll be, man. That's absolutely how it'll be.
They don't have to lift a finger.
I would see them selling those properties before.
No, they won't sell them.
Just release them.
No. Batman will continue to make money as long as there's things to make money on.
But Marvel did it, so why wouldn't DC?
No, Marvel didn't sell anything. They leased the properties away.
Well, okay, they did. You're right. You're right. They did lease it. You're right. But I'm just saying. But
the rights go out for contract. One of these other publishers comes in and backs up the money truck, and that's it. DC and Marvel don't have to do anything else. They just go, and they still get their logo put on the comic. It'll say Marvel, Boom.
But does that give them the publishing
Marvel,
rights?
IDW.
Does that give them just the publishing rights to do like a story, or does that just give any type of thing, like printing
they can
it
do
out?
Whatever they want creatively.
They could put them on a freaking beer can. They could put them in a movie.
As long as it meets the company standards, as long as they follow the style guide, they can do whatever they want.
When you have Jim Lee putting together a style guide,
yep,
yeah, that's telling. He's putting together a style guide. DC doesn't need a style guide. They know what their characters look like.
Wouldn't it be really funny if somebody got Marvel characters and DC characters and then did a
combine them?
I
wouldn't be surprised
because they have all these leased properties, so they can do whatever they want.
You might see it. No, you might see that.
That'd be awesome. And then you got
Image
some
or-
no name just writing them on a Kickstarter.
Yeah, if Image or Boom got a hold of them, that'd be great stories. I'm telling you right now,
Right, but
they put out great
there
stuff
would be no divide. You would actually see Batman alongside
in the same universe.
Captain America. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Then I can see that happening for sure.
Well, only if Marvel or DC actually allowed that, because it could be part of the clause that you will not merge these characters with Image. You're not going to see Savage Dragon and Superman together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So, like Ethan says, doesn't mean it's a good thing. Doesn't mean I'm happy about it. But on the other hand, comic books have been converged on by SJWs. They are now 100% gate-kept by radical leftists, and they aren't producing work that really anybody wants. And maybe it's time for a great big house cleaning. They say sometimes you have to set fire to forest in order to encourage new growth, and I think that's what they need to do. Burn down the dead wood.
No, there's nothing wrong with change.
But yeah, I mean, again, Jim Lee doesn't create a style guide for DC. Jim Lee creates a style guide for publisher X, who picks up the rights.
Right. But no matter what, they're going to follow his lead over DC. His fans are devout to him more than they are DC, the brand. At least I think so. I mean,
well, he's not going to go to the. I don't think he'll go to one of the small publishers. If anything, I think he'll just go do an Image comic. That's his old company anyway. He helped found Image.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Spawn property. I mean, Todd McFarlane, it's his thing. I could see Jim Lee doing something completely the same route.
I mean, it's creator-owned stuff at Image,
right? And Todd McFarlane's been doing this since the '90s. So.
Yeah, they don't. Anything you read from Image is all creator-owned. They don't. There's no input, and there's nobody looking over your shoulder and mandating anything.
Right.
And Boom Comics is like that too now.
Right.
And Tom McFarlane is totally you don't go near his stuff.
I can see Dark Horse getting one of these, either Marvel or DC. I think Dark Horse will make a power play for one. IDW is going to close their doors any day now. They're done.
But what does this mean for the comic book racks? Does that mean now everybody basically going online and shopping for comics is going to be shopping on a Kickstarter?
No, Ethan does go in to say that in his article too, that he thinks the monthly floppies are going bye-bye in the next year or so.
So there'll be no middleman. They'll just be basically right here.
I'm going to reshare this. He says, and you know what? I also should back this up. Like, a lot of people don't like Ethan that much, and whether you like him or hate him, he's been 100% accurate with every prediction so far. He's been spot on right. It's claimed DC Comics will switch away from month print comic books to focus on digital comic book serialization of stories, then to trade paperback size volumes or larger anthology size books aimed at general mass market, bookstore market, or Amazon. So our friend at the comic shop should be terrified right now.
So he'll have like 5 books on the rack.
Yeah, the comic book anybody who stays open will be more like a vintage thing where it's all back issues, like mostly.
It's kind of like how record stores are now.
So basically, he's going to be like a vinyl. They'll be like vinyl collectors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there'll probably be in some areas a big demand for the back issues based on the fact that the new stuff is really kind of not that great.
Not good.
But you know what's it's kind of funny. There's like this resurgence of actual physical media and something physical lately.
Mm-hmm.
People, I mean, I used to get my CDs from this place in Brantford called Exile, Maine.
I was there last week.
And I have no clue how they're staying in business, but there's a demand for physical media. People actually want to buy.
We were just talking about that last week. Remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just picked this up today.
Nice.
Criterion, 50% off Criterion sale this month at Barnes and Noble. So this $40 Blu-ray was $20.
I mean, there's something about having holding on to a physical thing as opposed to just having it on your computer.
Well, yeah, you missed. 2 weeks ago we had the story where Amazon, I guess it's happened to some people already. You buy something on Amazon and then it's gone.
Yeah, what the heck? We were talking about, yeah. Oh,
And it's because
lost the license.
they're allowed to sell it, but when the rights holder ends their relationship with the reseller, the rights go with it.
Well,
so you don't own it anymore.
Right. I had that problem with Apple Music. I bought Apple Music
There you
back in
go.
like 2011. And of course, I changed an account. So now every time I try to access that friggin' music, it's asking me for a password. I'm like, I don't have an account anymore.
Right.
But it's tagged. The MP3s are tagged to that account that was purchased back then. So I don't have access to that music anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I go to Spotify.
Right. but still, that's your music you physically bought. Well, you didn't physically buy it, but you
Actually paid money for it. Yeah. No, I hear you. I have so much money. I mean,
as right now, my iPod is in pieces because my hard drive died.
Oh no. I don't even have an actual CD player anymore. There's not one in my car. There's not one on my computer. I have my 6.6 CD changer, which I need to get a receiver so I can.
Well, here's something funny. My friends they do they're like a rap outfit. They actually are.
It's like an old man thing to say.
A rap outfit.
A rap outfit.
I don't know what you'd call it. What do you call it? Rap band?
Are you sitting on the Davenport right now, Jude?
Is it called?
What do you have for supper?
Are they called rap bands?
Rap group?
Rap crew?
Group.
Well, outfit's
Group?
fine.
Rap group? I guess. I don't know.
Just go with it.
I'm
just
going with
keep
it.
digging.
But but a couple artists I listen to on Bandcamp, they sell physical media and people buy it up and they do limited runs and people buy it right up.
Yeah, it's cool.
So there is a demand for physical media and physical books. And I'll tell you the truth, I go back to this all the time. My favorite time to read a comic is on the toilet. I'm sorry.
TMI you.
It's true though. It's true. When you're sitting there, you
wrong.
pick up a comic book and you physically open up and you start reading it.
I will never touch one of your comic books.
Good move.
It's got to
It's
be
all-
flagged.
oh, boy,
You gotta
so-
flag- those comics have been flagged. You can,
That's how we prevent people from.
it's like licking. It's like licking your like your food.
The Adventures of Feces Boy.
Well,
Well,
this
but what I'm trying to say is
Really
that
went downhill.
I'm not gonna hold my iPad on the toilet. I'm gonna hold a physical comic book or a physical book.
Wow, you're in there for a long time sometimes, huh?
Well, comics are you could go through a comic pretty quick.
like 15, 20 minutes is standard.
Jeez, you need to get some more.
You know what's
muscle in
really
your
funny though?
diet.
You know what's really funny? I bet there's a huge percentage of people, even people in this chat room right here, that read comics on the toilet. They should do it. They should do a study. They should do a study because I bet you there's like it's 80%ish, 90%ish. I'm guaranteed. Even women.
I have old comics, but I don't have anything new.
Do you read them on the toilet?
No. I probably look at Instagram.
So what I-
on my phone.
So what you should do tonight is put a comic next to in the
You think so?
bathroom and
Keep
see
on
if you
reading
pick it up. See if you pick it up.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying this happened. New trailer for the Justice League came out today.
And that's a terrible dark side. If that's dark side.
This looks like the original one.
Wait, who's Superman?
That's Henry Cavill.
Is it? Oh, it didn't look like him.
The Witcher
He's this guy who was born in Krypton and came over.
This is the Hallelujah. Oh no, that's different, right? No, that was in there.
Wait, did they really? Okay, I know this is a dumb question, but did they release the Snyder Cut?
January.
Oh.
Okay. I was scared. I was like, wait a second.
It's gonna be 4 episodes, 4 1-hour episodes. Because it's a 4-hour movie now.
4 hours?
No, it's not really.
Yeah,
no,
it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like watching all the Lord of the Rings in a row. No way.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be 2 movies. Remember? That's why.
Right.
Why would they do that?
Because it's the Zack Snyder cut that he never was able to show. The fans
Oh. Okay.
and it was originally going to be part 1 and part 2,
Gotcha.
And the hacked version that came out that they finished with Whedon, was a mess.
Mm.
So the fans petitioned, they gave him the money, and he's finishing it. But because it's 2 movies, it's over 4 hours long. So they decided to do 4 1-hour episodes, and then they're going to release it as one big thing, like on Blu-ray or something, probably.
It looks,
okay.
It looks like they cleaned up a lot of the animation too.
Yeah. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be way better.
I think I'll probably actually get HBO Max at least for the month
I think I will.
watch this.
Me too. I definitely
wow.
want to see it. Yeah, I want it to be successful because the fans made this happen.
Mm.
In the last couple of years, when the fans have been getting trashed,
exactly,
being called the fandom menace, and you've got the Harley Quinn cartoon show making fun of fans, and wearing T-shirts that say "Release the Snyder Cut" and all this stuff. It's nice that they listened.
So here's my question: I haven't seen Justice League. Should I watch the terrible version first?
No,
or should I just say
I wouldn't
screw it
bother.
and wait for this.
Don't bother.
Don't bother.
What did you think was terrible about the first Justice League?
It's an incoherent mess.
Okay, thank you. Like I'm not really that familiar with the characters, and I just was like Marvel usually introduces characters like individually and then puts them together. Where like I felt like I didn't know the backstories of them. They kind of rushed it and.
Well, that you're spot on with that. See, what happened was they did the Man of Steel, and it did, and then they were trying to figure out a way. Suddenly, they were looking at what's going on at Marvel, and they're like, "Holy shit, we got to do this."
Yeah.
But they did it backwards.
Right, that's how it felt. Yeah.
They just crushed them all into one movie, like right off the bat, instead of. But they couldn't take the time. They were years behind.
Yeah, but then they made a crap movie.
They did
out of it, and
no, it was complete fan service. They did it for the fans.
Is that Mojo? Oh, I gotta put his title back
Mr.
up.
Mojo Rising.
Mojo's back.
Meet our mascot.
I'm done. I'm tired.
Mojo's back for the end of the show.
Wow.
Has anybody got anything else before we wrap this bad boy up for a week?
What? I mean, I don't know what you guys talked about last week.
I'm assuming you guys hit on the Gina Carano thing again, right? Or
briefly.
no? Of course.
Yeah. Briefly.
I mean, the one thing that the article that I read was that the writer was obviously with the Twitter mob and titled it "Star Wars fans want Gina Carano fired." It's like, no Star Wars fans want Gina Carano fired.
Well, that's true,
it's the Twitter mob that want, but they titled it that way so that you could obviously go down the other rabbit hole, but it's not the Star Wars fans.
Let's face it. We know how this happens. People read headlines instead of delving into them.
Exactly, and that's it. That was it.
I got this.
Ooh.
If you love movies and you like physical media, this is definitely because the Criterion movies are not cheap.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
How much are they going for now?
$40.
Is this 50% off everything? Because I still have to pick up that Godzilla set.
Yeah, the everything. Yeah. So actually, let me blue. I can't type. This is the best site if you guys are into physical media and Blu-rays and whatnot. Blu-ray.com. They give you the deals of the day where you can get them. The Black Friday deals are coming. So Pete wants to see the Godzilla set. That one?
That's the one.
$112.50. So
wow.
50%
oh my
off.
God.
You're getting like 13 movies. So
right. Yeah. So this goes on till the end of November. They have it every July and every November. They do this. Because Criterion movies are so damn expensive, but they do an amazing job. Like the extras and the remastering job and everything.
Yep.
I usually pick up one or two every time they have the sale.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
When's the War of the Worlds is absolutely beautiful.
War of the Worlds is gorgeous. In fact, the current this week's episode of the 4:30 movie, they talk about Criterion, their favorite Criterions, and they pick one for each day of the week. And War of the Worlds was Friday.
Nice.
And they were going. Darren Doctorman was going off about how beautiful it is, and it is. It's probably one of the best discs I've seen from them.
It almost looks colorized
new.
because it's so sharp and it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, and like when you go to this site, they give you screenshots, you know, so you can really see. It's this movie. It's stunning. I mean, they do reviews 5 stars on the video quality.
It looks like they cleaned it up. It actually looks like.
Oh yes, they did.
Oh, they did. It's.
I mean, look at that. It looks like something from modern day, like a. Like go back to the alien ships. I mean, look at that panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
pretty cool.
When I got this in at July's 50% off sale, and when I put it in, my jaw hit the ground. I've watched this movie 3-4 dozen times in my life.
Really?
I love this
I
film.
don't think I've ever seen the original.
Oh, you got to see the original.
It's great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's fun too. It's a fun movie.
When the colors, like,
it's beautiful.
Just so clean. It's beautiful. 1953, and the beauty is the bonus features on this has. Let me get to the bottom here. Has a ton. Look at all the bonus features, and
wow,
this one right here, movie archaeologist. Craig Barron and Ben Burt from Star Wars, you know, probably the best sound man in the history of sound. They talk about how they went through and they actually had to recreate the soundtrack from scratch. And he has a library of the original sound effects and he, you know, had to invent the rest. And they went through and they redid the whole damn thing. And it's amazing. It's amazing what they did. So yeah, they did a 4K restoration. They even have the Orson Welles Mercury Theater broadcast.
Oh wow!
The original radio broadcast that scared the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's on there.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the best $20 you'll spend this year if you get this. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, Criterion does. I went there today. I wanted to get Brazil or Time Bandits or both.
Oh my God, Time Bandits!
They were both
now you're going way back.
Blood Simple, and this is the Coen brothers' first movie, and it's still one of their best.
What is it?
Blood Simple.
Oh.
Blood Simple's on my list. It's farther down, but since Brazil and Time Bandits were not there, I was like, well, I'll get Blood Simple. I have to get at least one every time they do the sale because. As much as I love these discs, $40.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I miss you guys should do a commentary for War of the Worlds. I miss the commentaries you guys used to do.
We only did 2.
They were still good. I liked them.
Well,
just add more jobs to our plate.
Yeah, we should.
There's nothing wrong with getting together for a movie night, guys.
We have to record a couple audio podcasts.
We might be on lockdown again. So
I'm going to keep the faith that we won't.
Right. So if we are, we might as well do a movie night.
Well, that's it for me. If anybody's got anything else.
I went to the movies again this past weekend and actually saw a new movie that just came out this past weekend.
Did you see Freaky?
I did see Freaky.
I just read about it and now I want to see it.
It was fun. I mean, like, it's funny to see Vince Vaughn playing a teenage girl.
Really? All right, let me ask you this. Did you see Jumanji with Jack Black and Dwayne Johnson? The first. Okay. Who did a better teenage girl? Jack Black or Vince Vaughn?
Jack Black, for sure, because Vince Vaughn can never really get out of Vince Vaughn. You know what I mean?
Okay, right.
But he did really well, especially for it being Vince Vaughn. It was fun. It was gross. It was good.
Yeah, I read the synopsis. Like, I've been ignoring a lot of the films that are out now because it's like I think that they're just garbage. That probably would go straight to video in any other year. But I read about Freaky, and I do want to see the one you told me about. I looked it up right after we got off last week, the Kevin Costner one.
Oh, Let Him Go.
That's an artisan film, so that means it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, night and day going from that one to Freaky. Big difference. But
has anybody seen Jack Black's dance routine recently on Instagram?
No.
Is it when he like?
No.
God, you gotta look at it. It's freaking hilarious. Did you see it, Stacy?
It's like
He's
It was
like near a water fountain.
while ago, right? Or maybe it was a different one. Maybe it was another one.
I thought they just released it.
Oh, maybe it might have been one from a while ago that I saw that he was. Yeah.
They were like spraying water on him, and he was doing like a twerk.
Nope, I don't think I saw that. I think I'd remember that one.
He just released it on Instagram. I think either yesterday or today. It's freaking hilarious. Oh my god, he's such a. I don't know. There's something about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a goof. He reminds me of Dan.
Yeah,
Leroy.
but he's a great goof. He's entertaining. You know.
He's entertaining. That's what. That's all I'm looking ever for. Like, to be entertained.
That's it. That's all we want. That's all we've ever been asking for.
That's all we want is good entertainment. Please, why is this so hard to get these days?
Because they feel like they have to use it as a platform. So
I'm all about like social justice and all that stuff, but there's a time and place, like it's
keep it out of our entertainment. If we want to deal with it, we'll turn on CNN.
Hey, listen, if you could make me get up in the morning and have a video that makes me laugh and actually make my day better just from watching something and having a good laugh.
Right.
For it.
Jude, you should just make Mojo the Marmot videos.
Marmot?
You know what? I do have a little bit of a green screen. I have like a green screen cloth, and I'm thinking maybe I can do some green screen work.
He's very cute.
I know.
What is that? I'm tired.
I found this guy in the woods. On Sunday, I was hiking.
On the next thread.
And and I took him home, and now
There aren't more out there that are
That's
just
like
haven't
amazing.
been claimed. Poor little baby.
I'm tired.
And how's he been? He's fine with like being in the house and everything.
Yeah.
And with the cat?
Yeah, the cat's actually. They're kind of getting used to him. They don't go near him. They kind of watch him from the couch. And if he gets too close, they kind of take off. But they're getting a little closer and closer each time. So there's going to be a moment in time where I'm going to walk into a room and they're going to be all sleeping together.
Oh, I'm sure.
I just can see it, or they'll be playing or something. But
Jude, you can now go collect debt for gangsters. You go drop the marmot in the bathtub.
What's a marmot? What's a marmot?
It's.
You ever see the Big
Nice
Lebowski?
marmot.
They're called
The Big Lebowski when they walk in. The two guys walk in with the ferret, and he goes, "Nice marmot, man." They drop
No,
it.
I don't remember that part.
They're actually
I
called.
watched that not that long ago too.
They're called polecats, okay, and they're part of the weasel family. And this breed happens to be domesticated.
Oh, look at you! You're a wealth of knowledge.
I've done so much ferret research over the last couple of weeks because I was so scared. I'm like, I don't know how to take care of this thing. And it's so funny. You go on a Facebook page or a Facebook group that deals with ferrets. It's like you just ask one question, you get like 1 billion people writing back.
Here you go.
There you go.
Here you go, Stace.
Oh, that's right.
I just watched this too.
I forgot this scene. Let
me skip through before we get nailed for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this.
You didn't get it the other day. Jeffrey texted you and he said,
No,
"Nice."
I didn't get it. I totally forgot. Ah!
I don't even remember this.
That's right. I've totally forgot this.
We're going to cut off your jaw.
That's right.
He's like, oh my gosh.
Go get him. Go get him.
Aww.
Wow.
Hey, long live the dude, man. The guy's got cancer.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that
Yep.
somewhere. But you can get better.
I hope so. Who doesn't
Yeah,
watch Bridges?
We should do a Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I haven't watched Big Lebowski in a while. I only
I
have
haven't.
like
Obviously, I haven't either because I didn't get the joke. So
Yeah. That's why
very
when Jeffrey
specific
texted you that I wrote Jeff for the win.
Yep.
I was confused. I was like, "What? I was like, huh? That's pretty
All
funny.
right.
It's pretty funny that Jeff knows that at age 29.
Oh, he loves that movie. Don't forget he lived here for a year.
Oh, you
Classic.
You programmed him like the Borg.
Oh, he's always been programmed. He's a cool kid, man. He's my nephew. He's a great kid. He wants to be on one of these. Yeah, maybe next week.
Sit down because this is what we're watching tonight.
Oh, I like this. Yeah, I like to have him on. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to come on. So
No, he was on in the beginning when we started this, but then he obviously moved to New York. So
yes, he did. All right.
All right.
Okie doke.
Anybody got anything else?
What's everybody watching?
I just watched an interesting movie, Bushwick, last night. It's like only got like a week left on Netflix.
What is it called?
Bushwick. It's an interesting the way it's shot and the way it looks, and it's a funky story, and it has Batiste, the guy that was Drax, and
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, he's in it. It's an interesting story. Give it if you have a chance the next couple days, check it out. It was different.
So is it a series or is it?
No, it's a movie. It's like an hour and a half.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's kind of has an interesting take. It's from 2017.
Edson, what do you got?
Well, before I get to what I was getting to, Jude, I know you brought this up before about Cobra Kai. I went through both seasons, and the ending of season 2, not where I thought would go. Pretty dark.
Oh yeah,
and now I got to wait till January 8th to get the.
They left in a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, it was pretty dark. It was pretty dark.
Not that far away. Stop whining it.
It's such a good.
I know.
Such a good show.
Last week we brought up I think Keith, you brought up the Deadpool Spider-Man which I had never read, and I went and got the first collection. It's like they're so well together if you're written the right way.
The Joe Kelly run. Stop when he's done. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Was the one where they go to see BVS in there?
Oh.
Was that one in there?
Yes.
Wasn't that great?
Is it worth it for a non-comic
I remember
to watch?
Yeah, I think so. It's fun.
I definitely think so. Yeah, I remember you telling me about this like years ago, and I was like, that Batman versus Superman. I definitely recommend. Yeah, even if you're a non-comic book reader, you just get the first collection. It's like the first 4 issues, I think, collected into one.
Yeah, especially because the Spider-Man movies don't necessarily, aside the Sam Raimi one's got the tone of Spider-Man exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
There were some inaccuracies as far as like organic web shooters and things like that, but for the most part, the tone was right. The Deadpool movies are spot on. So if you like the
Deadpool movies, yeah, absolutely.
then you're gonna love the comic.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's the same thing. It's the exact same
I'll
thing.
go check it out.
It's fun.
Okay.
Pete, what do you got?
I'm watching Police Squad in color.
Oh, those are the best. Do you have the DVD?
Color.
I have the DVD. Yeah,
So do I.
It's a cop show from the 70s. It's basically it's what the Naked Gun movies were based on. So it's got Leslie Nielsen in it.
Oh.
And he plays Lieutenant Frank Drebin. And there's only like 6 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
But basically this was a cop show. It's a comedy cop show from the Zucker brothers, the guys that did Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically
It made Mother Zucker so proud.
Yeah, it was way ahead of its audience. It was a comedy. It doesn't stop for a laugh track. That's the one. But yeah, like every week they would have a guest star that would get killed off in the opening credits.
Yes,
Shatner's
Shatner's one of them.
Oh, funny.
They would Shatner's one of them. Rex Hamilton is Abraham Lincoln for no reason. There he is. Rex Hamilton is Abraham Lincoln
for no reason.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's this is what the Naked Gun movies were based on, and you'll recognize a lot of the gags. Yeah, you'll recognize a lot of the gags. Mm-hmm. Like at one episode, they're driving around in Little Italy, and you can see the Leaning Tower of Pisa out behind the rear view, the rear window.
Right. They got there's something on your lip there, Al, and the whole banana falls on the desk.
I gotta go back and watch it again.
Oh, these are classic. I watched them when they aired. That's how freaking old I am.
In color.
Yeah, it was because back then it was at some point it was a big deal to have these things in color. So, scroll it down.
It's a take on Dragnet, Pete, and that's why they did the in color gag.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, scroll it down the other way, or back. This one here, the one he's at the dentist and he's trying to grill him for information, but he's all numb and he's got the little spit device on him. So
I love
having a shootout and right there. They're having a shootout, and they're that close to each other.
Oh my
Come out with your hands up. Never, you'll never take me alive, Copper. Bang, bang, bang.
I love when they're in the out in the stakeout, and they're like, he's eating pistachios and throwing the shells out. Next thing, the camera pans out, and there's like this big hill of shells, and he can't open the door.
Can't open the door.
Oh my god, that's so corny.
Yeah, no, this show. It's funny. I just watched these like back in like June. I went on a run and just watched all of them, and they're just so good.
Yeah, that firefight's funny.
Nobody got it.
Pillow
Nobody
at
got
him. Yeah, it was way too. It was over everybody's heads. At one point, somebody throws a pillow at Leslie Nielsen, and he grabs it like it's attacking him. Like,
yeah, it gets stuck to his face.
Yeah, it's just
my favorite line. My favorite line is sexual assault with a concrete dildo.
That was in the movies.
Oh, he's like nothing to see here. This person, nothing to see. There's like explosions going on in the back.
Penis off the statue. Like, what the hell?
Is some kind of bust? It's impressive, yes, but
nice beaver. Just had it stuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those gags were for the movies, but you'll recognize a lot of the sight gags. There's a lot of sight gags in this show.
All right, and Jude, your recommendation is the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, I think I recommended that 2 weeks ago, though.
But you were on 2 weeks ago.
Well, 3 weeks ago then.
Okay, 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, I actually
did you finish it?
I finished it and actually went back and watched like the last 3 episodes because I liked them. I liked it so much. The last 3 episodes are I don't know. I enjoyed it so much that I wanted. I watched the first episode and the second episode and then went right to the ending. They were just they're just done well.
You're the guy who picks up the book in the store and goes right to the end, aren't you?
Well, the first time I didn't. But I just been watching actually a lot of vintage stuff. I've gone back to watching the black and white Twilight Zones again and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Those are classic.
Can't go wrong with that.
I'll tell you the truth. The best thing at night to do is around 9:30, 10 after working all day, just putting on Twilight Zone.
Yep.
There's just something about it.
That is the best.
I know those so well that when I was dating my now ex, her son got into the Twilight Zone when he was like 9, 10 years old, and he'd watch the marathon, and I'd come down the stairs and I'd hear like one bit of dialogue, and I'd be like, "Oh, in praise of Pip," and I'd go in the kitchen and come back in. "Oh, it's a good life," and he'd like, "How do you know these?"
I wish you could put it on shuffle, like on Netflix. I wish you could just hit shuffle and like just random ones would come up.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a new Twilight Zone experience, check out the version from the 80s.
I have watched it.
Yeah, I mean they're very dated. You know, there's a lot of special effects are very video. You know, but still, there's a lot of new stories in there that you have the same kind of twists. But
Where is that?
It's on DVD. You can. I'm sure probably CBS All Access probably has it.
CBS All Access has it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's something about the Twilight Zone, even though the show is dated, the stories are so good. I mean, you don't see stuff written like that today.
No,
Black Mirror. I thought.
Rod Serling was a genius, and
I mean, I just got done watching this episode last night called Probe 7, where
Over and out. Yep.
Over and Out, where this guy lands on a planet, and I mean, I'll give it away. At the end of the episode, you realize that he actually lands on Earth, and he meets a woman there that actually was stranded there, and then they're Adam and Eve. But the whole time you think he's lost and he crashed on another planet.
It's okay, dude. It's like a 57-year-old.
I know. It's
You can spoil it.
But you know, the whole time through the episode, he's talking to the command center, wherever that is, but you think he's talking back to Earth, and the actual planet he crashed on is Earth. But at the end of the episode, you realize that the woman that he meets that's stranded there, they're Adam and Eve.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She shows him the tree with the apples and stuff, and you're like, whoa, like that's a great twist. But that's what Twilight Zone's good for. It's just
they never feel dated to me.
They never feel dated.
You can watch them over and over.
And my nephew hosed me on this. We started a podcast this
summer, I saw
where we were doing running commentary to Twilight Zone episodes.
Oh, nice.
Well, then maybe we'll get back to it at some point. But
I like the episode with the ventriloquist.
Which one? There's two.
The
Yeah.
one where it
Dummy.
the dummy that says he's lousy. He's like, "You're lousy," and you know he just kind of puts him down, and then
Cliff Robertson.
yeah. Even the Shatner episode is great.
Which one? There's
I
two.
know the other one when they were waiting for the car to get fixed, right? Too?
The airplane one. But
Yeah.
Nightmare at 20,000 feet, and then there's the other one called
They're waiting for the car to get fixed, right? In the
yeah,
diner, and like the little
Nick of Time.
Nick of Time. Yep, I like that one too.
I have that Joker fortune telling machine.
creepy.
Zoltar or Zolt? What was it?
well, that's big, but
It was the Magic Seer,
It looked like a little devil guy.
the Mystic Seer. It was called the Mystic Seer. That little machine with the devil head on it.
Mm-hmm.
that's
So,
a good episode. That is a good episode.
That is good.
My recommendation.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pete.
No, I was going to say that when William Shatner guest starred on Third Rock from the Sun, and John Lithgow is the lead character on it.
Right. I know where
Lithgow
you're going.
asked, Lithgow asked Shatner, "How was your flight here?" He says, "It was horrible. There was a man on the wing of the plane."
No, really?
And Lithgow says to him with a straight face, "The same thing happened to me."
Yeah,
because
that was the
in
remake,
movie,
right.
yeah, in the movie
Lithgow
he
plays
played
the
Shatner's
part.
part.
Oh, really? That's funny.
John Lithgow was the part in the Twilight
Yeah.
Zone. Yeah.
The movie. Right.
That was a good one.
All right.
So yeah, that's what I've been watching. I can't really say if anything I've watched anything new, but
all right,
good new, good old stuff.
For me, the first thing I would like to say. Remember, we were talking about Coming to America.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the Blu-ray and I watched it the other night, and it's better than I remembered it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
My recommendation is a movie from 1961 called The Hustler with Paul Newman and
Paul
Jack
Newman,
Nicholson.
Dynamo.
It is a Martin
Flash,
Scor-
right?
It's a Martin Scorsese movie before Martin Scorsese. It's a it's a case study in dysfunctional people, and it's phenomenal. So that's it. So until next week.
Fats Domino, that's what it is. Sorry.
Minnesota Fats he was, not Fats Domino. Fats Domino.
Well, it was based off the character, wasn't it?
Fats Domino was a singer.
Yeah.
I thought that was
twist.
No. Yeah. Or Chubby.
Oh, maybe you're right. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, Chevy Checker.
Yeah.
That's probably now. Well,
Yeah. So, all right. Well, for Pete, Judah Buddha, Edson, Stacy, and myself, Keith, the host, we'll see you next Tuesday.
If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?